You are not right. Hey, y'all. This is Halisi.
And this is Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia, y'all.
On our channel, we talk about travel money, retiring abroad, as we build generational wealth. What are we going to talk about today?
I had a good elephant imitation.
He's back here acting silly.
It was a good.
We ain't practiced nothing.
And it was a good imitation of an elephant, and you didn't even guess it.
I know.
You said sloth.
Yeah, because he was moving too
The
slow.
hell? Ain't no sloth got no trunk.
All right, y'all. We have been in Portugal for 6 months.
6 months. Yeah.
6 months.
6
And
months.
this time last year, we were still trying to figure out how we were going to make it happen by fall, if you remember.
I was in my man cave. Was I in my man cave?
So, no, you were not in your man cave. You were
sure?
still working because you did not, your last day was April 1st.
Yeah, they had pulled me out of my man cave.
Yeah, so his last day was April 1st, and my last day was March 1st. And we were still trying to figure stuff out. And here we are a year later, and we have been in Lisbon for 6 months, y'all. And so we're here to answer any questions you have. You know, we got permanent Mexican residency. And so we're really happy about that, because if we never have to go back to the United States and we could just meet family in Mexico, that would be lovely.
I mean, I really, really like having that option.
I do too. I do too.
A lot of people say, well, why would you get, residency in Mexico and blah, blah, blah. And it's
why
like,
not?
Yeah, why not? It doesn't cost you any more money.
Well, it does. A little bit. Yeah, a couple $100, less than 1,000. But yeah, it did cost us a little money. We had to go down there and we had to stay and we had to, we didn't have to hire someone to help us, but we did. So
we enjoyed being there.
Yes.
It was kind of cool. Those tacos.
Those tacos. Anyway, let me tell you, if you are new to our channel, about 6.5 years ago, Rick and I got a wake-up call. We were getting close to or at retirement age, and our money looked funny. We didn't have any money.
Let's just be honest. Funny because there wasn't no money.
There was no money to look funny. We were at negative 22,000, maybe more, because actually I didn't go back until I went back to 2019, 2018. At that point, we were at negative 22,000, but within 3.5 years, we were over $1 million in net worth. And so we figured out, we cracked the code, right, to financial independence. And we have not reached total fire yet, but we are on coast fire. And we are here to tell you that the FIRE movement is not just for young folks or folks under 40, because if you were like us and you never thought you could really retire, any retirement is early retirement.
Thank you.
Right? All right. So you all please hit the like button, subscribe, and share this information, share this channel with anyone that you think may want it, need it, or doesn't even know that they need it.
A lot of people out there don't know that they need it.
A lot of people don't. One of the things that we always hear is that they've seen a lot of folks on YouTube, our lovelies, Stephanie Perry, Rashida, and Adelia. I keep thinking we're in the same age group, but we ain't. They're still in their 40s. And then there's even younger folks out there doing what we're doing, but they're not the age group. They didn't get started late. And so we always hear that folks are happy that we kind of showed up and we're showing you that it is possible even if you get started late. So with that, I'm going to put up the ticker. You guys know, put a Q in front of your question or comment if you want us to put it on screen. And let's say hello to the people. I just love our family. Okay, so let's just start at the top because we know Auntie Trey from the ATL and Action VJ. How are you? And Latina Yogi, good to see you in the chat. Marguerite, good. Glad you're looking forward. Paulette, definitely. Lisa, how are you? Lisa M. Wait a minute. Are you the Lisa M that was emailing me? Okay, let me know. Hey, Kenya, good to see you. Were you conceived in Kenya? Or did they just want to give you that name? It's beautiful. Maria, hello, family.
Maria,
This is going to be a great live. Yes, I hope so. I hope so. Y'all better ask some good questions. Hey, Damien.
Damien.
Alexandria MD, first time logging in, but I've been watching since day one.
Cool.
Really? Well, I'm
Thank you.
glad to see you in the chat. Hey, Greta.
Hey, Greta.
Hey, High Vibe. Good to see you. Michelle. Ah, there we go. Michelle, Christy G, Seashell. Good to see you. Howard Worldview. We haven't seen you in a while. Welcome
No,
back. Good to
welcome
see
back.
you. When we arrive, do we need to get euros at the airport? But baby, do not get euros at the airport. Unless there is like an MB Way ATM, don't get it from that exchange thing because
No.
you're going to like. So the other day we went to withdraw some money from our American bank and, right.
Yeah.
And so the bank kept saying, are you sure you don't want to use our exchange rate? And you heard all of us say, never accept the exchange rate. Y'all. They were trying to charge us like, okay, let's just say for $200. For $200, they were trying to charge us $240. For 200 euro, they were trying to charge us $240. Our bank charged us $213. 213 versus 240 for 200 euro. Never accept that exchange rate. It's never going to be in your favor. Let your bank figure that stuff out. And so if there is an MB, M as in Mary, B as in boy, way ATM where you can reject the rate and
Right.
it won't charge you extra, then sure. But don't go to one of those money exchange things. And then, there's Uber here, there's Bolt. Watch our transportation video and you can order those. It's not where the taxis are. You're going to have to walk across the street and stuff, not across a highway, but just by the parking lot.
You have to go upstairs and go across.
Upstairs and then go across to catch the Ubers and stuff. It's actually easier to catch the train. As soon as you walk out of the terminals and turn right, the train station is right there. So, yeah. Hey, Vanessa, good to see you.
Vanessa.
Maritim, good to see you. Hey, Krishan, didn't I
Hey,
just see you
Krishan.
earlier? Hey, Holly, good to see you. Rita.
Hey,
Karen Louise, good to see you.
Definitely.
Live. Ivy Sapphire, is that a new name?
That sounds new.
It sounds new. If not, we're sorry, but
Hello,
welcome,
hello,
welcome,
hello.
welcome. Yes. Hey, QTQ. Are you cute, cutie? Hey, glass half full. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Right? I mean, it's amazing how quickly time flies, and that's why I was getting sad. We had our Beyond the Bling live last night, and they saw the expression on my face when I was talking about going back to the States in July, because I know it's going to come like this. I know it is, and so no, I'm not looking forward to it.
It'll come and go quick.
I hope so. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing my family. Don't get me wrong about that. Hey, from the DMV, Kay Stewart, good to see you. Lady Omusuku, I hope I'm saying that right. Definitely a new name. Good to see you. Jeanette, did you pick your neighbor? How did you pick your neighborhood? The neighborhood picked us.
Yeah, pretty much.
We had never heard of this neighborhood, right? Mm-hmm. And so y'all know we used Rossini, Lisbon House Finders. His information is below. But we were, were we desperate?
We were desperate.
For the folks who have not heard this story, we'll just recount it very quickly. So we're in Mexico getting our Mexican residency and trying to get our stuff together for Portugal's, we had the interview and all of that. And I wasn't thinking when we booked all of this stuff, but I kind of was. Our immigration person booked the first possible appointment. And I thought she had first told us that she was going to book it for like August 11th. And we were going back like August 4th or 5th. So, okay, no harm, no foul. We'll have time to get stuff together. Well, she booked it for August 5th. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, okay, well, we can get stuff together. And Rick started reading over the list and he's like, oh, what about the FBI? And what about this? And what about that? And I was like, oh my God. So it was crazy.
Yeah. So we got into a scramble, and it's a lot harder to do things when you're out of the United States to do things in the United States. So, you don't have all the conveniences all the time.
No, you don't. You don't. So we're a little spoiled in America with some things, and that is the expediency of how some things work. But in any event, so we thought we were going to rent an apartment in Casillas, which is in Almada across the river. And it was an Airbnb that we had stayed in. But the lady, the family who owned it, and the wife was in charge, but the husband, it was in the husband's name. Lord, and they did not speak English. They were just acting like typical Portuguese and just like taking their time.
Oh, it'll be okay.
Taking their time, relax. It's going to be okay. Namaste, Halisi. I'm like, look, we got an appointment and we have to have this, and this before the appointment, and you're not going to give me gray hair.
Yeah.
The Monday before the appointment, we still did not have a contract from them. However, so the appointment was on Friday, August 5th, not 2 days before, but the Wednesday before that, we were talking to Rossini and we're like, help. And so he's like, I got you, I'll help. And so he's such a sweetheart. He really, really is. And he must have sent us about 80 different listings. And one of the keys, especially when you're in a hurry or you don't want to deal with a lot of rigmarole, he was looking for apartments that were listed by the owner to cut out the middleman and extra time in between. And that was brilliant, because looking for that, then we got to talk to the owner directly, and we knew what kind of landlord we were going to be dealing with. Sometimes when you have a realtor, you never really get to talk to the landlord, and then they might be a nightmare.
Right.
Our landlord and his wife and his daughter are wonderful human beings, and he's very attentive. And so we're very, very fortunate.
Very fortunate.
But let me tell you, so Wednesday he started looking. He saw this place on the Friday, a week, 7 days before our appointment. And before we could get off of the phone good with him, because he walked through it with video for us, and then walked around the neighborhood and stuff. So we could see, what, our surrounds looked like. And as soon as we saw the park across the street, it was like, oh my gosh, we never thought we would have an apartment so lovely. And especially for the price. And so by the time we got off, we had a sample lease.
Yeah. He didn't waste any time.
He did not waste any time.
I'll send you a lease that you can go over. It's just a sample, but it have everything in it that needs to be in it, and you can make changes or whatever.
Yep. And he still had another appointment to show the apartment, but I think he had already made up his mind.
I do too.
Because he saw mature people and he didn't want any kids in here. That's what I'm thinking. He's never said, but I think that's what it was. So Saturday we had a Zoom call. By Sunday we had a revised lease. I was showing it to our immigration person. Monday he had registered with their version of the IRS and done everything that he needs to do to make sure that we had what we needed for our appointment. Between him and Rossini, they worked magic. So we are on the east side of the city and up on at the top of one of the 7 hills of Lisbon. At the top, at the very top. I love walking the hills. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's good exercise. But yeah, so we didn't even know this neighborhood existed. However, when we were here in June, we got lost in this neighborhood. Remember, down on the main boulevard, Amarante? And we were looking for Saldana.
That's right.
Yep. We had gotten lost in this neighborhood.
That is right. Actually, we did the video about that.
Yep.
That's when the lady flipped me off.
Did she flip you off?
Remember, she looked like she was hot.
Oh, yeah. She was kind of cray-cray. She was kind of cray-cray.
I don't know. She thought I was taking a picture because she's ugly and I wasn't taking a picture.
So as far as picking neighborhoods, we did do an Airbnb video and we mixed like taking a vacation versus a scouting trip. And we show you a map of the areas. So we are not in the tourist area, but we are 4 metro stops from the tourist area. We could actually walk to the tourist area. But there's like this magic invisible wall that once we pass a certain street, it's like the tourists go down to like maybe, I don't know, less than 10%, because I really don't see tourists in our neighborhood.
Yeah, once the trolley goes around that corner, it's like, okay, no more tourists.
Yes.
They're gone.
They're gone. It's lovely. It is lovely. So, hey, Venus, good to see you. Luxury Vagabond, good to see you. Auntie Trey, want to know, have you guys had any good paella yet?
Auntie Trey, she doesn't eat seafood.
I don't
I
eat
do.
seafood. No.
I haven't. I had a version when we were here in June, but it wasn't the great.
No, it wasn't paella.
What it wasn't. I thought it was. That's
I
why
thought it was
ordered
paella
because it
too.
had the scrimps that were looking scrimps. I said scrimps. Believe it or not. There's the whole story behind it, but I'm not going to get into it. Anyway, I had the scrimps that look at you,
Right.
and I didn't really know
And
how
the
to
crawfish and everything.
Yeah, all that stuff.
But
And
it's drier
it
than
was
paella.
drier than paella. The best paella I had was
in Barcelona. Yeah. So they do have paella here, so we're going to have to try it.
I have to search
well, he'll
out
have to
for
try
it.
it.
Yeah.
But we're going to probably ask for recommendations because they have something here that they call arroz, rice, plus whatever. And so it mimics, it's like a rice base foundation with some seasoning, some heavy seasoning, and then usually seafood. And so it mimics paella, but it's not quite the same because
And oh my goodness, you guys, just sharing this with you. So we went to the butcher the other day and we got a steak like that thick.
No, it was not that thick.
Yeah, it was that thick.
It was this thick.
No. But anyway.
He cut it.
It was that thick.
He cut it as thick as we wanted it.
And it was the tenderest and tastiest steak I have had in so long.
It tastes so different than American
It tastes
beef.
like steak was supposed to taste.
Yes.
It
And
totally
we used to buy very, very expensive steaks
Yeah.
from Costco, not whatever the highest thing is. I don't know if it's
Prime?
Choice or Prime.
I think it's Prime.
I think it's Prime. And for 3 steaks, we used to pay like $65.
Easy. Yeah.
One of those steaks then was $20, right? We got this steak for $6 or €6.
Yeah, and it was good.
It was good. It was good. So yeah. Hey, Letitia. Hey, we said, yay, made it to alive. Oh, good. Hey, Luxury Vagabond. Good to see you. We are getting residency in Mexico in the meantime as well. Yay, until we decide where overseas we will settle. I guess Mexico really isn't overseas. It's abroad, definitely, because it's outside of the country, but I guess it's not overseas. So good. Look, if you're watching this, Mexico is easy and it's beautiful. Don't look at all the hype. I saw there was an article going around again about Americans getting kidnapped and things like that. Stuff happens everywhere, but for me, I like to stay away from the tourist areas, and the life that I see some friends living in the interior, away from the tourist areas, seems beautiful. So I cannot wait to go back and do some more exploring.
Definitely, yeah.
Ivy Sapphire, do you know how taxes work while living abroad? I'm wondering, are you paying U.S. taxes? So we are not tax folks. But if you are a U.S. citizen, you always, 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 always have to file. Unless the two of you or the single person is bringing in absolutely zero income and somebody is gifting you money or something, I don't know, or maybe under 6,000. But if you are getting any kind of income, be it dividends or real estate income or anything else, Social Security, pension, you have to file.
Yes. That
doesn't mean you're going to owe, but you have to file and let them give you back what they're going to give you. So, I don't think we're going to have to pay U.S. taxes. Here's the thing. If you live someplace else, this is what my tax person told me about our situation, because I deal with this stuff, is that once we are here the majority of the year, because of the treaty between Portugal and the United States will not tax us if Portugal is taxing us, and Portugal will be taxing us for 2023. And so we will not have to pay U.S. taxes. We will have to pay Portuguese taxes. And Portuguese taxes are not cheap because you get health care. Your Western European taxes are not cheap. You do have to plan for this, y'all. We're not making it seem like this is a panacea, that this is our Black utopia, but it may not be a utopia for everyone. Right. So there was a time where if you were on Social Security or some kind of pension, the taxes were zero. We missed that opportunity. So right now they're 10%. As long as we sign up for the NHR for the non-habitual resident, there'll be 10% for 10 years. And then if you are making income, it's 20%. Now, it's not 20% for all types of income. Mm-mm. Besides pensions. And it depends. There's a list, but the list is very broad. And so the chance that if you're, going to be working remotely or something like that, the chance that your occupation is not on the list is slim, but it's possible. And so you do need to go on to the consulate website and look up who qualifies for NHR, non-habitual resident. And then talk to your tax person, because everybody's different. And that does not include state taxes, y'all.
No, it doesn't.
State has nothing to do with the feds. Hey, Phyllis, good to see you. Can't wait to meet you in real life. Okay, they're talking to each other. Thank you, Krishan. Olivia, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Also enjoy you are a couple doing the journey together. Yes. Yes. And which means that sometimes you have to compromise. But there was never a time when both of us were not on board.
No.
We were.
No, we weren't.
We were both adventurous. We both loved to travel. So moving abroad was not an issue. We do talk to couples, especially our clients in our one-on-one sessions where, one person is gung-ho and the other person still needs to be convinced. I would hate to be in that situation. I don't understand wanting to stay in the United States as a Black person. I just don't. With what you have learned in 6 months, what area would you choose to live in? If we had to do it all over again for what we know now, where would you choose to live?
Well, see, you really like living in Lisbon. Are you talking about in Lisbon or in Portugal? No. Anywhere?
Anywhere. Yeah, well, it has to be a place that you've seen.
I mean, I still always will love Barcelona.
So no, I mean in Portugal.
Oh, Portugal. That's what I was asking. Portugal.
You said Lisbon.
Well, Lisbon or Portugal.
Portugal. We ain't living in no racist Barcelona.
I could see myself living outside of Lisbon.
Like where?
Caxias, Caxias.
Caxias. I believe.
I mean, the ocean's right across the street.
It's beautiful down there.
And when we walked through there, it's like, oh my God, I could really, really live here.
His chest was puffing out. He's like, I could do this.
I could do that.
I could do this.
Because, I always thought about, a place where you could look across the street or just walk across the street or be on the beach. And no, we can't buy a house on the beach, not here in Lisbon area, but
down south a little bit.
Down south a little bit or something like that, yeah.
Caxias, Caxias, is about, I think that's how you pronounce it. If there's any of our Portuguese friends in the chat, I know y'all gonna correct me.
Or Argos, or is it Argos?
Passo do Arcos.
Yeah, Arcos.
I think.
I mean, they're next to each other.
They're right next to each other. So they're about from Cais de Sodré, or Sodré, which is right in the tourist area and where the train that goes down to Cascais starts. And I would say 5 stops mm-hmm. from the tourist center. So it's not far, but it feels different. It feels a little bit more suburban. And if I had to do all over again, I'd still want to live right where we live. And here's the reason why. We walked down those areas and they are beautiful, but I didn't see convenience. Where's the grocery store? I couldn't see it. I didn't see it. Where's the bank? Where's all the fruiterias and all of that stuff? I didn't see I didn't see the density, and so it wasn't as walkable to me down there. And so for that reason, mm-mm. Now, we didn't walk everywhere and we didn't see everything. So I'm sure there's enclaves with that kind of convenience. But here, I mean, literally, we are within less than a 10-minute walk from 3 major grocery stores. We're a 2-minute walk from 1 major grocery store and a 2-minute walk from 3 fruits and vegetable stands.
Oh, yeah.
It's convenient and I like that. So, as far as, neighborhoods are concerned, I don't want to be in the tourist area. I don't want to be mm-mm. So the map that we explored in the Airbnb, I have an area that's circled. And if you go back to that video, there is a link to that map. If it's not working, let us know because I'm transferring our website. But in any event, I think I transferred that. So there is a circled area that encompasses like from Arroios to Saldana and a little bit more west. And that is the area that I like because it's close enough to all the happenings and the nightlife, but far enough away that you're not dealing with it on a day to day.
And then plus, as we get out more and start traveling throughout the country itself, I'm sure there's going to be places up and down the coast that it's going to be like, oh man, I could live here.
We need to know more Portuguese though.
Yeah, because you're outside. And a lot of people outside of Lisbon.
Yeah.
They're more.
Hey there, Andrea. Yay, people from Facebook. Good to see you.
Hey, Andrea.
Okay, yes, this is the Lisa. All right, very good, very good. Brenda, what is the first thing to do getting ready to move to Portugal? Your NIF? Somebody else asked us that. I'm assuming as far as the visa process goes, I would say the NIF and the bank account. Yeah,
those are the first 2 things you definitely have to have.
So you have to have a NIF, you have to have a bank account, you have to have some kind of accommodations, you have to have an FBI background check. That's only good for 3 months, so don't get that done until you have an appointment date. Because if you're in the United States and you've got a post office that does the digital handprints, you literally can get everything you need within a week.
Yeah.
So save that till last. And as far as bank account and NIF, if you don't want to DIY it, Border.io, which is down in the description, can do that. We paid entirely too much money. We did not use Border. So we use this other company, which will remain nameless, and they charged us a grip.
Yeah, we didn't really know about Border.io then.
We didn't. And we didn't know about Gale either. So I would do the NIF and the bank account and start transferring money into the bank account because they're going to want you to have at least 3 to 4 months of living expenses in your bank account before you apply.
Yeah.
It's an easy process, but it's not an easy process. And they really are asking for a lot, but because they want to have people here who want to live here and add to the community and add to the economy.
Right.
So they don't want people who are just, they do have a digital nomad thing now, but they did not want digital nomads on the D7. They want people who are going to come and basically live the majority of their time here in Portugal. My husband and I are 50, so it is perfect. You guys showed retirement can be done at any age. Yes, we feel like we started late. We started late. We started way late.
You'd be surprised at how many people start late.
Right? Let's see. I'm 58 now. So started when I was 54, getting serious at 54. 50 to 51 is when we had that meeting with the financial advisor. Yeah, we are not into financial advisors. Okay, we answered that. We really do think that you guys should do what you need to do to learn what you need to learn. Financial advisors are going to, if you really don't feel comfortable or you really don't want to do it, get a financial advisor. One thing that I can say is my grandmother had a financial advisor, my aunt has or had a financial advisor, and neither one of them are in the position that I would want to be if I had a financial advisor. So my grandmother died when she passed away. She had like $5,000 left in her account. I'm not sure what kind of advising he was doing, where he had her money or what, but no, no. And, and so neither one of them are where I would want to be if I had a financial advisor. What has been the best and worst experience you've had in your 6 months? Ooh.
Worst experience.
Let's start with worst because
The worst experience I
know what I was going to say. What?
the worst experience I had is when I went to take my blood test.
Oh.
And because it's different. Things are just different here. And I went to take it. I didn't take it at the hospital.
Right. You guys got to show yourself grace and know that it's going to take a minute to figure out stuff.
Yeah. And, I'm getting ready to get my blood drawn and stuff like that. And of course, I don't speak any Portuguese. And the lady that was doing it didn't speak Portuguese. She didn't speak English. So we were like, okay, so I'm trying to understand her. And she's almost yelling at me and huffing and puffing. But she's just one individual. And it's like, I hope this woman don't make me catch no case up in here. It's like, okay, we got through it. I got to understanding some of the things she was trying to explain to me and stuff like that. We got the blood. That was the first time I ever went to get my blood drawn, and the person couldn't draw my blood.
Oh, that's happened to me.
She stuck me a couple times with the needle.
Ouch.
And it was like, okay, this is it. If she doesn't get it this time, I'm out. So we got it done, and we got it through. It's that barrier, that language thing.
Yeah. I think so. I've got two stories. The worst experience by far was when we got into a car accident in the Bolt, the Uber, and it was bad. And the other car was totaled, and my friend and I were sitting in the back, and we bumped heads really hard. That hurt. And then to add insult to injury, we were supposed to be sticking around to give a statement, and the police never asked us anything.
That was weird.
And it took them forever to get there. Now, I know some of the problem was the accident caused backup. Okay, so there's that. But still. And then too many cops passed by, and they slowed down like looky-loos and kept on going.
Yeah, that was weird.
So that was probably the worst experience on the serious side. Now, on the not so serious side, I think trying to figure out the ATM machines and when you put up Google Translate and you put it up there, what it translates to does not make sense. Now, here's my Americanism showing. So I'm trying to translate the stuff, and then I'm on the next screen. I'm trying to translate that, and there's always people waiting, and I'm freaking out. Oh, I'm sure they're just like rolling their eyes at me and da-da-da-da-da. But I don't think they are. I think that's just me.
They weren't.
I think that's just me because everything in America has to be like this, and people, would you hurry up? That's how America is. But here, people are just like, oh, she'll be through when she gets through. So I think I put the pressure on myself. But literally, it took for us to be able to withdraw money from a ATM that would not translate to English 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
4 times. 4 different tries to get money.
And I watched people before we got up in the line to take our turn at the ATM. I watched people, and they were there for long periods of time.
Yeah.
Because I was like, not trying to do the American thing, but it's like, dang, they're taking a while. but nobody's getting upset. Nobody's getting anxious. Nobody's like, could you hurry up? Or, stand. We're not doing anything like
Because
that.
here, let me tell you, the bank closes at 3:30. At 3 o'clock, they lock the door.
They locked the door.
No more nothing. You can use ATM machines, but they're not helping you deposit. They're not helping you open an account. If you don't get into that bank before 3 o'clock, you got to come back tomorrow and they will let you know. So at 3:30, click, they are out of there. They are out of there. It's like 1970s banking hours. They are open on Saturday though. So maybe 1980s banking hours. Oh, okay, Lise, you're the one in Cascais. Yeah, we're meeting. We'll be down there, or maybe you're not, and you're the ones that we're gonna meet at. Girl, okay. It's on my calendar.
We'll be somewhere.
Email is on my calendar. We're gonna be somewhere. I know we're going to Cascais, and we're going this Friday. We are going to meet folks for breakfast, and I'm getting stuff mixed. I don't know where we're going, when we're going, what. But we will be there. So I know I've got it. I put it on my calendar because if it ain't on the calendar, it is not going to happen. What is something that has surprised or shocked you since moving to Lisbon?
Surprised or shocked?
Okay. So we got this shock when we were here in June. And that was how many Black folks. How many Black folks there were here. There are so many Black people here. And because it's Portugal, right? So it's Europe. So, I mean, we had been to other countries, and to see, here's my problem with Barcelona. All of the Black people that I saw in Barcelona were hawking wares off of a cloth or a blanket or something near the tourist areas. Like, they weren't part of the normal economy. They were just hustling. And there's nothing wrong with hustling. But all the Black people I saw were hustling. I didn't see any, like, even as a waitress or a waiter or any of that stuff. Did you?
But, it was where we were too, where we were staying
But
and stuff like
we
that.
went downtown.
I guess I didn't pay attention.
I didn't either until we came here. And that's when I started comparing the two, I was like, it's a different vibe. It is a different vibe in Spain. And I wasn't, now that I've been here, I'm not feeling it. To visit, oh yes, it's beautiful. But, and maybe outside of Barcelona and Madrid, it feels different, like in Sevilla or some of the other places. So we haven't been everywhere. We've only been to Madrid and Barcelona. But yeah, how many Black folks were here? And then how many, okay, so remember when we saw Grandpa on the metro over in Almada?
With the grandkid.
With the Black grandkid, with the obvious Black grandkid. And like, that just shocked me. Not that we don't have interracial couples in the United States, we do. But I don't really see that many white grandparents in a nurturing position with obvious Black kids. I just haven't. I haven't seen it. Not in California, not in Colorado, not in my travels around the United States. I have not seen it. I'm sure it happens, but here it's a lot. You see it everywhere. And so that's one thing that really shocked me. That kind of shocked both of us. That and the fact that when we were in the tourist area, the concierge or waiter or whatever at the restaurant we were going to eat at just started speaking Portuguese to us. And I was like, oh, we look like we could be Portuguese? So that shocked us. But that was really early on. Anything else?
No, not really. I'm shocked at how well I can get around by myself, or just
And get stuff done.
And get stuff done.
Yeah. Google Translate, y'all. Do not be afraid of the language barrier. You guys know that we're taking lessons. and we've got our tutor, and she's a native Portuguese speaker. But it's been 3 months taking lessons.
And I'm learning not to beat myself up because it takes time. It really does take.
It takes time. And I speak Portuñol is what they call it, I think. Portuñol, Portuguese Spanish. But they're patient, and the guy at the grocery store, he knows us now. And I try to give my NIF number using Portuguese numbers, and he says, okay, from now on when I see you, I'm only going to speak, because he speaks fine, he speaks perfect English, and he's like, I'm only going to speak Portuguese to you. I said, okay, thank you, obrigada. So yeah, that's the other thing. There are so many grocery stores, and they're so convenient that you get to know your grocers. It's not like the Kroger's.
Yeah.
I mean, as we went to that same Kroger's for 18 years, and some of those cashiers we saw on a regular basis, but they never acted like they recognized us, ever. I'm not sure if that's making noise, but it sounds like it is. Anything else surprise us? Oh, when we first got here, the amount of graffiti, that used to shock me when we first got here.
I got so used to it.
Yeah. I mean, so we saw it in Spain, we saw it in Italy, but not like here. And it's everywhere. And not just the pretty stuff. Sometimes it's the tagging, right? So that shocked me. The amount of abandoned buildings shocked me. And that's one thing. So y'all know they got rid of the golden, or they're in the process of getting rid of the golden visa. They've made the decision. We'll see what happens. But the amount of abandoned buildings shocked me. And it's dismaying, and I understand why now they have them, but the difference is abandoned buildings do not equate blight, in that there's not necessarily a bunch of druggies in there,
Right.
and living in there and all of that stuff. They're bricked up, so you can't get in them. So at least there's that. But oh my gosh, how much more housing there would be if even half of them were being rehabilitated.
Something did cross my mind that shocks me.
Okay.
Is these folks will park in a bus stop. They will park. Okay, you know how when in the U.S. we pull up to a stop sign at the corner, they will park on that corner, like not parallel but straight across, and it's like, okay, and the cars are expected to go around.
Mm-hmm.
Where we live, and I'll look out the window and watch cars, and there's a bus stop right there at the corner. And I mean, the street's not that big. You can
These
have
are
a bus
narrow
going
streets. They were
each
not
way.
made for cars.
Yeah, but taxis, they'll just stop right there at the bus stop and sit. And the bus has to go around it, stop next to it, let its people off, and then take off.
And there doesn't appear to be speed limits.
No, I really haven't seen it.
I haven't seen a speed limit sign. Now, maybe you're just supposed to know. I don't know. But I haven't really seen speed limits.
Yeah.
And so
it was just weird to me. I was like, okay, look, they just gonna park in. Well, the guy that pulled up the other day when we went to the butcher.
Yeah.
And I said, he can really park his car right there.
Right
and you
there.
were like, no, he's not. And I said, yeah, he is, because he's getting out.
And literally, so you pull up to a stop sign and there's a line right there, right? He parked on the other side of the line like that line was a parking space.
It was his personal parking space. But that's
right there
how
at the corner. I guess he thought, I'll be quick. I don't know what he was thinking.
Mm-mm.
I don't know what he was thinking. But we thought we were going to get some mopeds or scooters.
Mm.
These people drive crazy. So I have no idea, Paulette, how easy it is to move with pets, because there is a pet passport that you have to get, and there is a process. I would go on to the embassy website and see what the process is to move your pet here. Our dog he's just too old.
And I don't think it's really, really difficult. A lot of people move here with their pets.
Yeah, because you did look it up.
I did look up different things. And I mean, you have to have the
all the latest shots.
All your latest shots, okay, from your vets, and then there's other things, so the pet passport and stuff like that, which you get taken care of there in the United States.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of people, one lady brought her horse, $10,000.
Our neighbor has brought her cat. We have 2 people that we know brought their cats. So, so yeah, it's definitely doable.
Yeah, I don't think it's really difficult.
But it's going to cost you a couple extra bucks. Another Euro question. Should I get Euros in the US? No. I'm used to having money in hand before I leave the US. I know, that's what we used to do. Remember traveler's checks? Remember those?
Wow.
So, if you go to, like, in Colorado, only Wells Fargo would do the money thing. If you Google euros to dollar, and the last time I checked, it was $1.06 to €1. And if you show up at the Wells Fargo or whatever bank you think, and they're going to charge you 6% more, maybe 7%, do it. But if they're charging you anything more than what Google shows that the current exchange rate is, and all types of fees and all this stuff,
Right.
nah. When we came to Europe, I didn't have any money because we landed in Britain, and that's the pound, and then we went to Europe, euro. So I just got money once we got here from an ATM machine. And most of them, if you have an American card, be it ATM, don't do your ATM. Well, yeah, I guess it just depends. As we said, Fidelity and Schwab will refund you the
ATM fees.
The fees. So whether you use a card or however you're going to do it, once they realize it's American, they will give an English option. So that's mostly what I found. Problem is I wasn't using an American card. I was trying to get money out of our bank here. And so it was not giving me an English option. It's like, oh, you got a Portuguese bank account? You must be Portuguese. And I'm like, no, we learning. Can you get euro before leaving the US? Yeah, you can get it. You can get it. I used to have to do that way back in the day when doing a scouting trip. When is the best time of year to go to see area as a local rather than a tourist? Well, you can see as a local anytime.
Yeah, you can see it as a local anytime throughout the year. Most people will say go in the worst time of the year, like in winter, to see if you'll like it, to see if you can, which the winters aren't harsh.
I think it depends. Like if you hate heat, come in the summer. If you hate the cold, come in the winter.
Come in the winter.
Right?
So you can have it at its kind of worst.
At its worst for you. Right? Yeah.
Because even this winter, we were shocked to see how many tourists there still were.
There is no off season as far as I'm concerned. We'll see in the summertime because, it seems crowded here to me in the tourist areas. On the weekends, they're still getting, cruise lines are still pulling up because it's not, just Americans, but whatever cruises are going on from here, they're still pulling up every week, every other day or whatever. And so when we go down to the tourist area, we see them and it's crowded. But for us, that would have been wintertime. We would have wanted to come in the wintertime. That's what we had planned. We suggest watch the video, the Airbnb video. But we definitely suggest renting an apartment outside of the tourist area. And like I said, I've got that map, the circled areas that I like. If you go across the river, you're going to get cheaper prices. It's a quick ferry ride.
10-minute ferry ride.
Whether you're in Bavaria, I think that's how you pronounce it. Y'all don't get on me, but that's how you would spell it. Or whether you're in Casillas in Almada, it's a quick ferry ride. And if you get the Viva card, watch our transportation video. If you get the Viva card, then it's €1.85 for longer trips, and which is discounted. So yeah. You mentioned you went to your American bank. What American banks are in Lisbon? No, I mean, I withdrew money from, there are no American banks here.
No American banks here.
I withdrew money from our American bank using my card here. So, and any kind of fees that our bank here would have charged, our bank there reimburses. So that's what I meant. Sorry about that, y'all. Hey, Killer Queen, good to see you.
Hey.
Working at the hospital and listening. We got to get you out. But we're glad that you're listening. Hey, Alicia, I haven't seen you in there in a while. Good to see you. George, now, baby, don't get on me about mispronouncing. Please, we are trying. We really, really are. And anything that I'm getting wrong, please help us in the comments. We're so thankful that you're here. Yes, Marguerite, definitely. Yes. So if you're part of our Fire Over 50 Facebook group, we posted it twice. And I posted on LinkedIn as well, and it's going to go out in email. But yeah, we did a podcast with Krishan at Black Tech Global, and we've been told, I haven't listened to it yet, but then we recorded it, so I know what I see it, and I know what you see it. But we definitely want to listen to it because she edited it. But yeah, we've been told it was really, really good. So if you're not part of our Fire Over 50 group and you are part of the diaspora, you don't have to be over 50, but you do have to have a picture. Otherwise, it's going to take forever to get approved because we have to go look and loo and blah, 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 and all that good stuff. Hey, Maya, good to see you. Okay, so Grethlin says, how do you manage a U.S. bank account? Do you withdraw or transfer money into your Portugal account? So one of the things that we figured out kind of on the slow, because that's kind of a duh, right? Okay, so convenience and inconvenience. Mm-hmm. When the dollar is stronger or the euro is weaker, however you want to look at it, is when I try to transfer big chunks of money into our Portuguese account for our rent and whatnot. Now, our institution charges $15 to wire funds. And then our receiving bank also charges to receive the funds. So it seems to me we were paying close to about $30 to $32 every time we transferred money. However, if I just withdraw cash and deposit cash, I'm getting charged nothing. The problem is you can only withdraw so much at a time. So now I'm in the habit of every time we pass a bank, withdrawing some money and depositing it. And it's a little bit less convenient, obviously, than large chunks at a time, but I don't like fees. So you can do it either way. If your time is worth more than the $30, then go ahead and do the wire transfer. But I would definitely look at what those fees are beforehand. TransferWise and those kind of things that charge you a percentage of how much you are going to transfer are not a good deal. They're fine for paying off, little vendors here and there, €50 or $50 or whatever. But if you're going to transfer, let's just say $5,000 for, 5 months worth of rent or whatever, that's a lot you're going to be paying. You're going to be paying hundreds in transfer fees. You don't want to do that. You do not want to do that. I'm trying to apply for a digital nomad visa while here in Portugal. Okay, great. But you can't apply here. You have to apply in the United States, is my understanding. All visas have to start in your home country. Now, Mexico, you just have to apply outside of Mexico. It does not have to be your home country. But because I'm assuming you still have to do the FBI background check for a digital nomad visa, we've got to download all of those requirements. You're going to have to at least turn in your stuff, unless you can mail it to Boston. If that's your consulate, you're going to have to do it from the United States. But if the digital nomad visa requires the NIF and the bank account, go ahead and do that while you're here.
You could do that here.
Yep. Do not let the bank give you a temporary NIF number.
No.
And you will know because it will not start with a number. It will start with a letter. So if you go to open a bank account and you don't yet have your NIF, they'll try to give you a temporary NIF. It's really, really hard to untangle all of that and get your permanent NIF. So you don't want to do that. Found that, well, we didn't find that out the hard way, but a client asked us about that. And so we had to do some research. Auntie Trey, any regrets or pangs of second thoughts since moving? You guys seem like movers and shakers. Have you taken some time to embrace the Portugal experience? We were lazy today. Did we leave the couch? I took a shower. I took a shower for y'all.
Today was a lazy day.
Yeah, today was a really lazy day.
We got stuff done, but it was.
Yeah. Some days we don't even leave the apartment. So I think movers and shakers, no. Our friend Alex and Jerry, they're movers and shakers. Their social calendar is very busy. Our social calendar is not.
Well, but we have a lot of stuff that we've been doing too.
And they've been here a lot longer.
They've been here a lot longer. They know more people and stuff like that. So
yeah.
But we've been having a lot of fun meeting folks, subscribers and stuff coming over for their visits and
yeah,
having coffee, having breakfast. That's been amazing. So we look forward to that.
Yeah, no second thoughts, but I do want to bring up something that's not as pleasant. And that it was going around our WhatsApp group today, and that's the right-wing movement that's happening here. So it kind of shook me up. We know that the party that is aligned with our thought process. And George, if you're here still, you can tell us a little about this Chega party. So the people who are aligned with our values won the election last year in 2022. And so, yay, everything's good. We know that the older people our age and older, remember how it was before 1975, before April 25th, and they ain't trying to go back to that. Portugal was lifted up in Western Europe and Europe in general as, sticking to their guns and not allowing the right wing to really take hold. And they were looked at as an inspiration because, in Italy, in Germany, in France, and in Britain, we know what's going on. But they did this last election win about 7% of the vote. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but that equals 18 and 12, about 30 seats in parliament. Out of how many? I don't know. But the rhetoric that I see in the billboards that I see now that they've been brought to my attention are dismaying. So I don't know if it's growing or if that's kind of where it's going to stay at less than 10% of the vote. I don't know. But we know that there's always scapegoats. And so, we're paying attention and I'm bringing this up because I don't want you guys to think that we think, oh, Portugal is a perfect place. Everybody come. Everybody's going to love it. There's no racism. There's no bigotry. There's no classism or any of that stuff. We don't want you to think that. Every place has its issues. And this is something that is gaining a little momentum. And I'm telling y'all, every single time there is economic problems, the right wing comes up. This is how it was in the 1930s, the Great Depression. And what came after that? Hitler. So every time people are feeling insecure about their basic needs getting met, they look around for a scapegoat and somebody to blame, as opposed to blaming the people who are in charge, who should have been putting policies in place as a stopgap. So, and so those who are opportunists look, they smell what way the wind is going, and they do what they need to do to gain some power, money, and prestige. And it's never about the people. It is never about the people. These people never, ever, ever help the common folk. Problem is that, Black folks always tend to be on the list when the right wing gets in. So, right now, it's not really an issue. They don't have enough power to be an issue. And so I'm asking my Portuguese friends what they think about it, and that will give us some idea. We're still dedicated to staying here for at least 5 years. We want citizenship. And and hopefully it'll be fine. But that's another reason why we got the Mexican not passport, but permanent residency. So no second thoughts, definitely no second thoughts. But I didn't want you guys to think that we're just painting this place as perfect, because it's not. And as far as the Portugal experience, if taking it easy is part of being Portuguese, yes, yes, and yes. We're still doing tourist stuff though. I still want to see all the touristy stuff. Sorry about that, y'all. We still have to go back to Sintra and see the other castles. We've got to do the Silver Coast. We've got to go down south. I want to see, we've only taken one ferry. There's 4 ferries within this little stretch that go back and forth on the other side, and they all go to different parts of the other side of the river. And so that's one of the things that we want to do, because there's beautiful beaches over there and everything else. So yeah, now that Beyond the Bling has dropped, the course is now available. Now we have some time, because that was stressing me out a little bit, getting all of that stuff together. Why are you laughing? Am I lying?
No.
Yeah, it was stressing me out. All right. I tried to join your Facebook group, but was declined. Could you help me, please? So if you've got to answer the questions, that's number one. If you have a brand new Facebook profile, it's going to automatically decline you. If you don't have a picture on your profile, or you've got your stuff so locked down we can't see, and make sure that you're from the diaspora, then we will decline you. If you really feel uncomfortable about having your picture on there, send us an email. Look on our on our YouTube channel under About, and you can get our email address, or it's hello@ourblackutopia.com. If you've got a brand new profile, then friend me, and then I'll invite you. Okay, let's see what Southern Rose Tea is talking about. A few weeks ago, y'all gave me tips for figuring out what gives me joy. Thanks again for the advice. I gave myself room to dream. Yes, I know what gives me joy now. Yes, yes, yes. Yo, sometimes we remain so busy making ends meet, hustling and grinding, and I think we think we're happy, and we never take the time to ask ourselves, are we really happy? Is what we're doing right now really making us happy?
Right.
I thought I wanted to, do the next level at my job, which would have been like CEO of the organization. And I thought, then I will be happy. But I would have been stressed the heck out. Wouldn't I have been?
Probably.
Oh my gosh, dealing with them folks. The idea of it made me happy. The money definitely made me happy. But doing the thing and dealing with those folks on a daily? No. My mom saying that Halisi's in Denver running things, that didn't make me happy. It made her happy, but it certainly didn't make me happy. That's for doggone sure. And I'm glad that we took the time to think about that and ask ourselves those questions so that we could choose a different path. What cities in Mexico are on your backup list, and how did you decide on those locations? Hi Vibe, hey there. From other YouTubers.
Yeah, there's places I really look forward to going to in Mexico now. Good friends.
Yep. Yeah.
In
Querétaro. Hey, Angela.
Lamar.
Right. And then Mexico City, because the CDMX crew is there. And so Mexico City is on the list. We interviewed Michelle from San Miguel de Allende and Casa Elm. So that is on our list. I think there might be too many Americans there, but I do want to see it. I know it's beautiful. Lake Chapala was on our list. So basically, we just Googled. We started with just Googling. So Merida was on our list. We started with Merida, and that's how
I'd like to see it. I don't know if I can stay there because it's so hot. But
whenever we go back to the Americas in the wintertime,
yeah,
then we will go to Merida. So Merida was on our list because it's the second safest city in North America. And so it was on our list until we found out about the heat. And then it wasn't on our
But
list.
there's good people there.
There's good people there. Yeah. And if you like humid heat, if that's your thing, then,
And I'd like to go visit Tia Nikki.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Her and Mom's.
Best area to stay in Lisbon City Center when visiting? No, I think it depends. Again, we've got that map, and I overlaid the metro system on that maps to make it easy to know, if you want to take public transportation so you can just zip right into the city center. I think it depends on what you want to do. If you're all about the nightlife, then maybe you do want to stay down there. Supposedly, we're in the city center. But to me, the city center is down there by the water in the historic area where that yellow plaza, Comercio or Plaza do Comercio, is down there. The yellow plaza that we always see, and Caixa de Sodra. So that area to me is city center, where the timeout market is and all of that stuff. And just above there, just north of there. But supposedly we're in the city center too. So I don't know what to tell you. I want to sleep at night, and I'm not going to be going out all night, every night. So if nightlife is your thing, then maybe you want to stay close to that area of Caixa de Sodré, Príncipe Real, and all of that down there. If not, if you're more about that beach life, then you want to stay further south, probably, in Casillas and on the way to Cascais. Yeah, but I think if you stay close to the metro, Lisbon is not physically that big, period. No. I mean, we've walked a good majority of it from our apartment. And so it's physically not that big. It's very walkable in that there's sidewalks everywhere, unlike some countries. So yeah, you can walk it and stuff like that. But if you're close to the metro, you're never going to be that far away. You're just not.
Residency, no. We haven't had our residency appointment yet.
Everybody else has had their appointment or has their appointment before us.
Yeah, they got theirs this month. We don't have ours until May. I checked today to make sure they hadn't changed it because you got to keep checking.
And they hadn't.
Nope. May 22nd.
So folks who have gotten approved way after us have their ASEF appointment before us. I'm feeling some kind of way about that. I don't know.
You just got to feel a way about it. Because
ain't nothing you can do about it. Yep. I'm feeling like a redheaded stepchild. Any chance you will do an apartment tour? We will. We have a housekeeper coming next Tuesday.
What's that got to do with an apartment tour?
What do you mean? See, he thinks he's cleaning up. He be straightening up, y'all. He straightens up and he calls it clean. That ain't clean. That's straightened up. And I appreciate it, but it ain't clean. So maybe after the housekeeper is here, we will do an apartment tour.
To give you more time to do?
No, so that it's clean. So it doesn't look like
the tour of our apartment. I'm thinking something totally different.
Oh, you were talking about going out and doing tours of apartments. No, they mean our apartment. And so, yeah, after she comes to clean, then we will film and Rick will put something together. Now, you guys don't get on there's nothing on the walls. We still don't have anything on the walls besides this right here. And I'm trying, there's cement. So we've got some of those, do no harm, sticky things. So we've got plants though. We've got plants now. Where do you like shopping for home furnishings?
Oh, well, what's the store?
Well, IKEA.
Okay.
There are furniture stores everywhere.
They got them.
Beautiful furniture.
Yeah, they have beautiful furniture, but
and it is affordable. And when I say affordable, I don't mean IKEA affordable, because IKEA, nothing gets as inexpensive as IKEA in general. And IKEA here definitely is less expensive than IKEA in the United States. But it's IKEA. It's pressboard. So real like adult furniture stores, they have them here, but they're not chains. They're like, you know, I don't know. I don't see a chain furniture store. Now, George, if you're still in the chat, maybe you can tell us besides IKEA. So I think, I would go, if you want furniture that's going to last, I would go to one of the ones in the neighborhood and start there. On the major streets, I see them and they've got beautiful things. Our apartment is furnished, so we really haven't had to shop for anything. But Krishan, when you come here, we'll show you some of the furniture stores that we're talking about since you're going to be here next month. Yay. And in time for our meetup on August 26th.
And I think I think they probably have a lot of people that make furniture.
They do.
It seems like there's a lot of people that do custom furniture.
They do. I love you guys and tried to join the Facebook group, but was declined. Please help. Oh, I think
you read that one.
I think we read that one. Okay. Do you feel like you're in better shape since moving to the hills?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I've gained weight. I'm walking.
I do.
But yeah, I am, because when we first got here, we were huffing and puffing up those hills. Like I could not walk the whole hill without stopping. Now I kind of power walk the hills. So yes, I will know. I have appointments coming up. I've got to get a blood test and all of that stuff. So once I see, those numbers, then I'll have some science behind.
And they check everything here.
They check everything.
So it was kind of a shock to me when I did go to the doctor that I go to here, and she ordered cardiology tests, EEG, a Doppler test, and all that. And I'm like,
that's standard.
Yeah, that's just a standard thing. I was like, I never had that. My doctor in Colorado never said, "Oh, we want to do EKG and this on you and that on you." It's like, So when she wrote me the prescription for it, it was like, I've never had one of these before. What, do I need one? And she said, no, it's standard. We just want to see what's what.
Yeah. The other thing that's standard, women, is a sonogram, not just a mammogram. So they do a mammogram and a sonogram to make sure that there is no cancer in the chi-chis. So that's standard. I told her I'd never had one. I had never had one. She's like, oh yeah, everyone gets one here. So what has been the biggest happy surprise living in Lisbon? That we're so close to everything. So
yeah,
when we got this apartment, y'all know we didn't see it in person. We only saw it via video. And then I would do Google Earth and walk around. But of course, some of those pictures are like pandemic time, pre-pandemic time. So it looks different. And it seemed like we were far away from most stuff, right? When you look on the map, it's like, oh, it's way over there.
Yeah, and then we taken the metros, and the metro takes you out and around.
And it takes you underground, so you don't know
where you are.
And it feels like you've traveled a long way when really it's a 10-minute walk up the main boulevard.
Yeah.
And so I think the happy surprise is when we started investigating our neighborhood and walking around, and we found out how close we are to really, really cool stuff. I mean, one of our normal walks takes us around the castle of St. George or São Jorge. And so we see prehistoric or, from the 900, AD or whatever, castles on our daily walk. How cool is that?
Yeah.
It's really cool. So I still have not stopped looking up. Like a tourist in Manhattan is always looking up. I still have not stopped looking up. I have stopped looking up for our normal walks because I've seen it a cajillion times. But when we venture someplace newer or someplace that we haven't been a lot, I'm still looking up. I am still looking up. Hey, Sister Spice, good to see you. All right, I know we're behind. what's the name of the neighborhood? Peña de França. We're in Peña de França. Rock of France is what the translation is. Have you visited Spain? If so, how does it compare to Portugal? So we talked about that, MT, but
we haven't been back to Spain since we've been here, but yeah,
no.
we've been to Spain.
We will go back. We probably, at this point, we're not going to go back until after our CEF appointment, because as of 2 weeks from now, we cannot leave Portugal until our CEF appointment. But we do plan on visiting places other than what we visited before, which was Madrid and Barcelona. I really like Madrid. I love the energy of Madrid. It is crowded and I love it. So if you don't like crowds, like, Lisbon's probably not your place. But I like the energy. I like walking to the grocery store at night, and there's still tons of people walking around. I just love it. So that's one of the things about Madrid that was really cool.
Yeah.
We were still so American traumatized when we were in Spain that I probably would look at it through different eyes today. But what wouldn't change is how those from the diaspora are integrated into the economy. And for those folks who have been there, because we went right before the pandemic. So for folks who have been there lately, they're still saying the same thing, that you don't see us integrated into the regular economy like you do here and like you might in maybe Britain and other places. And so that's the thing that I kind of, it's like, And then also one of the reasons why it fell off of our immigration list is because the tax scheme is not as good. Healthcare is, but the tax scheme is not as good. And it's 10 years to citizenship instead of 5 years. Yeah. So the Meetup, I'm planning to see the African Lisbon tour and the Banksy exhibit. Cool. So it looks like we have a place. It's available. We're waiting to see the price. It is right there on the riverfront, which is so cool. So y'all keep your fingers crossed that the price is right, because I told you guys it was going to be a minimal cost and we don't want it to be a lot. So I'm hoping that they charge us a normal price. It's going to be a cultural event. Right now, we're planning to have some Black Portuguese there, and maybe African food, yum, and African dance. And Naki actually is going to give a little bit of his information from the African Lisbon tour, and other folks, the history of us here in Portugal and all of that stuff. And so that is April 26th. And we've been waiting for the proposal for about 3 or 4 days now, but it's Portugal.
Yeah.
It's Portugal. So
and that's the day after their Independence Day.
It's the day after their Independence Day. And so April 25th, we're looking to see what community events are happening. I know that there's a parade and everything. So we're trying to find a place to have happy hour on April 25th. If the parade's during the day, we'll do the parade and then go to happy hour. If the parade is at night, we'll go to happy hour, then go to the parade. So that's the plan for April 25th. But the main stuff happens on April 26th. And so folks in the class last night, they got to see some pictures of the place. It's really, really cool. Yeah. All right.
QM, is that QM?
Where the movie theater is? A movie theater? Or I don't know what the movie theater, because there's tons of movie theaters here.
There's one over by the castle.
There's a movie theater over there?
Yeah, we walked past. It looked like a movie theater. It was some kind of theater.
Okay.
I want to say it was Teatro or something like that.
I think that's a theater, live theater.
Oh, okay. It might have been, but
there's theaters in the malls, of course. And there's a theater, I don't know, like there's lots of theaters, movie theaters. So I'm not sure what neighborhood. Like Colombo There's a set of theaters in the Colombo Mall, and there's also a set of theaters next door in the arena, in the stadium, on one of the floors. There's theaters there. So, and then of course in Parque das Nações there are theaters, and then other places in between. Yeah, I'm not sure. See, she knows. She didn't say Halisi and Rick try the octopus. Because Halisi ain't trying no octopus.
I am going to try it. I truly am. Soon. Someday soon.
Me and seafood are not a thing.
I love seafood.
My mom just never made it. She didn't particularly care for it, so I never developed a taste for it. But I ain't no seafood. And which is bad. When I'm in a place that has fresh seafood, the fish in the grocery stores look at you. And then they have like salted cod. Is that what that is? That's hanging?
Yeah, oh God.
From the hooks and stuff.
It's dried cod.
It's like dried cod, and it looks like it's been like salted.
It starts with a B. I can't remember. I feel so
bacala?
Bad. Bacala.
Okay, is that what that is as well?
Yeah, that's a cod.
Okay, yours is helping us out. Paella is not Portuguese food, but we. So, George, do you know where we could get some good paella? Because it's, here, y'all, as we said, they make something that looks like paella, but it's called arroz, because it's ARROZ, I think, which means rice, of course, and then it's meat. Sometimes it has sausage in it and seafood. So it kind of looks like a jambalaya, but it doesn't have the saucy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of dry. How often did you visit Portugal before deciding to move there? The question is from my wife, who retires in 4 years and is itching to get the heck out of Dodge.
How many times?
So, Paulette, why does your wife have to work for 4 more years? Are you guys taking her class? I don't want you guys to have to wait 4 years. Y'all know your financial situation, but I don't want you to have to wait 4 years. And if you've got kids and all of that stuff. So how many times did we visit before deciding?
Once. We came in June.
Look, we were going to apply before even visiting. I'm glad we didn't, because it looks better if you visited. And we could say we had friends and stuff like that, which is true.
Well, I just saw somebody on here said they met us at Christina Mann's thing.
Oh, someone from the 365 Days of Fire.
QM? No, was it QM? It's further up. You scroll past.
Did I scroll past it? Okay.
Only a couple.
So we decided that we were going to move here in the first week and a half.
Probably week and a half, yeah.
We had done a lot of research, though, you guys. We were looking at it.
QM.
At the ORJ Meetup. Cool. Very cool. So, we got these handles. I'm sure I'll know your face. And are you going to be at this year's meetups? We are. We went ahead and paid to go to this year's meetups as well. So we're looking forward to that.
The alumni. We're the alumni.
Yes, we're alumni.
The first class. The first class.
And I'm glad we did, because yesterday's prices are not tomorrow's prices.
That's true.
It was expensive. Was tourist area where H&R was tourist area where trees, fixtures, etc. lit up Christmas. Oh my gosh, yes. Go look at our Christmas video. BP, you saw that.
Yeah.
Oh, was that the tourist area?
Some of them.
Some of it, but some of it wasn't. So the one that I showed you that we did, the short that was like Lisbon Lights in the Rain, it was just a short. That was our neighborhood. But we knew the majority of it was going to be in the tourist areas. So we went down to Rocio Square and down by Caixa de Sodré and Comercio or Praça de Comercio, all of that was down there in the tourist areas, yes. But the major streets of the major neighborhoods, period, decorate. and it's beautiful. Now, I've been told by our Portuguese friends that it's a lot less now than before. Maybe they're trying to conserve on electricity. But to me, in comparison to what they did in LA and Denver, it's a winter wonderland. I'm looking at Airbnbs for April meetup in Belen. Is Belen a good location? Can I get there easily from the airport?
I think so.
So Belen is a great area. First of all, it's easy. You can get there by public transportation. Um, as we said, Lisbon is not physically that big. It just isn't. So it's not that far. But if you're going to take the train, you would take the red line to the green line to where it ends in Cais de Sodré, and then get on the regional train there.
Right.
And it's like 5 or 6, no, 4
From
stops
Caicedo
down.
today?
About
It's
4.
two.
No, it's more than 2. It's more than 2. It's about 4 stops down because it's past the bridge. And you forget all of those little stops before we even reach the
What
bridge.
am I thinking? Oh, I'm thinking of Cuff.
So he's thinking of his doctor's appointment.
When I go to visit the hospital, it's 2. I'm sorry.
So yeah, it's about 4 stops, 4 or 5 stops. So 1 or 2 stops past the bridge, depending upon what part of Belen. So yeah, it's beautiful there. That's where the monument is and the tower, and there's cute and what is that? Where the not nuns but priests stay. What are those places
Monastery?
called? Yeah, the big monastery that's like Gothic. It's beautiful and lots of little old town stuff. It's cute. You like it. It's pretty. So, but yeah, it's just and the train is really easy. As soon as you come out of the terminal, you make with your luggage, you make a right, and it's right there. You don't even have to really hit the elements. It's right there. You go down, take the red line to the green line to the end, and then get on the train. And yeah, once you're in, you're in. It's all good. Looks like we did it. I don't see anything else. Oh, wait, it disappeared. Did we freeze? No, I hope not. Okay, Alexandria. I hope I didn't pass up anything. Okay, no. All right, y'all.
International food theme. I mean, I think they had plenty of dishes from all over.
I can't think of anything that you can't get here. I used to say you can't get good Mexican food here. And in general, you can't. But you can get good tacos. How was that burrito bowl?
That was good.
Okay.
It was very good.
There you go. The tacos were on point. Little expensive. There's another place that we know to go to. So we went to this place behind Time Out Market called, I think it's called like Coyote something or other. And
Cayo something.
was it just
Taco.
Cayo? Something like that.
Cayo taco.
Okay.
Coyo taco.
Coyo. That's right. And they were good, but a little expensive right there in the tourist area. But if you go down a little bit on the street that runs right behind the main street that the train station is on, down there by Time Out Market, and you go down a little bit, and then to your right, I got to get the name of that place. And they're opening up a second taco spot too. Oh my gosh.
Tacos were very good.
We had some pork tacos with the pineapple, all of that. On point. And they had hand-pressed tortillas because you can't find corn tortillas here. So the 2 restaurants that I've been to, they make their own tortillas. So that's Mexican food. But we live, because I love Mexican food, we live supposedly in one of the most diverse neighborhoods. So there's Nepalese food, there's Indian food, there's Mediterranean food, African food, ramen and sushi. I haven't found a good Chinese restaurant. I've tasted good Chinese food, but then I don't know where they got it. So it's here, but I don't know where they got it. Yeah. What else? Everybody's here. This is, in Lisbon.
I don't think you'd have any problem finding any international
anything.
foods.
I don't eat French food. I don't like a lot of sauces and stuff like that. So I'm sure they have French restaurants here, of course. But as far as outside of Europe, those kinds of foods, Asian food, African
Mhm.
food, Latin food, Brazilian, of course, they have a lot. So yeah, and it's good. And some is not so good. If it's a kebab place and nobody's in there, avoid it. I've been burned twice. But then you go to a little mom and pop and you got to get the plate of the day. The plate of the day, it'll be like €9. And for €9, which we've seen some prices increase here, well, I'm not going to lie. But for €9, you can get a starter, you can get usually beer or wine or soft drink, and your meal for €9. Like I told you guys, we went to a restaurant last Friday, or it was Friday before last, something like that. I don't know. Not the Friday just
It was
passed,
last
but
Friday.
the Friday before that.
Yeah.
And it was a white linen restaurant, and they had alcohol and everything, and it was €55 for four of us. So that means like €10, €11 a piece for a meal, a sit down dinner, wine, beer, soft drinks, whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah. Is it practical to move out of the US without reaching your fine number? It's getting really handmade. I haven't seen The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, I seen it.
Is it depressing?
Just weird. It's
So we have not reached fire, but we did reach Coast Fi. So you know, for us, what we felt comfortable doing is once we had 2 years living expenses, and I think I answered this question in the comments too, 2 years living expenses, not including what we had in our investment accounts. 2 years living expenses, not including what we had in our investment accounts, then we felt comfortable making the move. So that's what we needed. If you've got income coming in, you've got to figure out. So if you don't have our Move Abroad toolkit, it is down below, and it helps you figure all of this stuff out. You got to know where your money is going to come from and how you're going to sustain yourself. What we don't want is for you to get over here and be on the struggle bus, right? Somebody else was talking about seeing a lot of young people who've gone to Asia because parts of Asia are so inexpensive. And then they're on the struggle bus and they don't even have enough money to leave. That's not what we want for you. And so this help the Move Abroad toolkit helps you figure out and know where is that money going to come from, and whatever money is coming in, is it consistent, and is this enough to sustain me in the way that I want to live?
right.
So for us, you guys saw we did a cost of living last week, and it's funny because somebody got in our comments saying, okay, I don't get it. This doesn't seem any less expensive than the United States. We're at about 25 to 2,700 per month living. And I know we're paying probably a little bit more than the average Portuguese in rent. But that's with eating out and never paying attention to grocery prices for the most part, and transportation and our health care, our insurance, and all of that. And so that's less than Rick gets in Social Security. So we are living within our means. I still have, because of the rental income and stuff like that, it's just a little bit above break even as far as our rental income. And that extra money goes into investments. They're still sucking money out of our savings account and into our, investment accounts. So, yeah, I think you need to figure out what you feel most comfortable doing. But the most important thing is that you've got a good chunk, because let me tell you, we had to put down 2 months rent plus the current month, so 3 months rent, plus a deposit that equaled 2 months rent. So basically, we had to come up off of 6 months. But one was for the month that we were going to be in the apartment. So
Right.
I kind of don't count that. And then the other 2 months will go towards our last 2 months of the lease whenever we decide to give notice. So it's not just in the wind. But then we've got the 2 months deposit. So we had to come up off of all of that. And then we had to ship luggage because I didn't want to carry it all. If you carry it all, then that would have been $250
Right.
per bag. We paid 180 pounds per bag. So it was more convenient, less expensive, but still, that's a chunk of money. We had to buy, this place was furnished and it was furnished well. So we didn't have to buy televisions. But if you have to buy televisions or a couch and a bed and all of this stuff, even from IKEA, that's a chunk of money. So we had 2 years set aside plus another 40,000 set aside for the move. And that became the move plus a year's rent. So we're kind of 3 years living expenses.
Pretty, yeah.
You can do it. You can do it. The fastest way to do it is to lower your expenses. Live on less.
Yeah,
and then it's fast. Then you can save it faster, right? If you need $40,000 to live on to feel right, then it's going to take you longer than if you can live off of 30,000. Is the Wi-Fi and phone connection reliable for remote work? It's divine.
Yeah.
Divine and authentic.
Truly.
It is divine.
It is. It really is.
We have very fast internet, very fast, faster than anything we ever had in Denver. And our lovely, lovely, lovely landlord wired every single room in the house. So we have an Ethernet connection even in the kitchen. And for that, plus the cable, he's doing an internet test, plus the cable and a landline, which we don't have a landline. But if we did, it's included, is €34 per month or €36, one or the other, one of those even numbers per month. Okay. Do you have any idea how much Affordable Care Act medical insurance will cost on a retirement of $50,000 a year? You can go ahead and pretend like you're signing up and see how much it is, because I don't. Mine is 29 cents per month on our income, but I also didn't get the best thing. I got, it's total insurance. But it's probably got a high deductible and stuff like that because I'm only using it as travel healthcare insurance. If you catch my drift. So I would go ahead and act like you're going to sign up and then just don't hit that final thing. So yeah, because I've even done that before we even qualified. Regarding Mexico residency, did you use a Mexico Airbnb address when applying? Yep. Certainly did. I just went on there and picked one, and I don't think they checked it because she said yes too fast. She had to go through all of our financials and everything else. I'm sure she wasn't on Googling the address to say what, It was more about, can we afford to be there and do we want to be there?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Have you guys visited any of the art galleries there? No. And we've got 2 in our neighborhood. And I pass by them and they're having little wine gala thingies, right?
Right
the people are in there down the hill. And then there's one that way towards Pingo Dos as well.
Yeah.
And yeah.
We got time.
We do have time. But we have not done that yet.
No,
we haven't even gone to any of the museums, of the art museums yet. So we're going to do that. Would you request a NIF and open a bank account in anticipation of visiting Portugal? If so, can you recommend a reliable representative? So yes, Border.io is in the description below. And I can put it up here in the replay. Where are we at? 1 hour, 39 minutes. Can you write that down? And so, see, this is what we got to do. Because when you have these long videos, and so, yeah, Border IO at 1 minute, 39, 1 hour, 39 minutes. Border IO in the description below. They will do the NEEF and the bank account for you remotely. You don't necessarily, you can DIY this. You don't need an attorney or any of that stuff. If you go on to the Facebook group Friends and Americans and Friends of Portugal, she's got a DIY list. So if you don't want to pay anybody, do the DIY. We opened up our bank account by ourselves. I mean, our immigration person was standing by on WhatsApp to help translate and everything, but we didn't need it. And it was pretty straightforward. If you want to know what we brought, because I don't remember everything now, we did do a video called Opening a Bank Account. And yeah, you can go look at that and see what is required. But it's not that big of a deal. It really isn't. If you do it remotely, it's a little bit bigger of a deal because you have to do a power of attorney and they're taking legal responsibility that what you have given them is correct. But yeah. We did do it remote. We did the NEEF remotely and then did the bank account when we got here. That's how we did it. You are learning Spanish and Portuguese? Yes, glass half full. I'm crazy, aren't I? I'm learning both. How are you doing this and how's it going? So we use a online platform. The information is in the description below under language lessons. I think maybe All Things Portugal are moving abroad under that header. And I think they're still offering the 70% discount. The platform is called Preply. And I found both of my tutors on Preply, and our Portuguese tutor is Angolan. They speak European Portuguese. Mm-hmm. She's a delightful young lady. And then Laura is now a friend. I know her mom and her boyfriend and her nieces and nephews, her sisters and brothers. Says I've been taking lessons from her for 3 years now. And she's Venezuelan. So we've got 2 Black ladies that I am learning from. He's learning just Portuguese. So if I had the pronunciation down, and that's what I'm going to be working on the next 2 weeks, my Portuguese would be a lot better because when I do the exercises, I can do the exercises like that. The grammar is basically the same as Spanish. 80% of the verbs are the same as Spanish. They do have a little bit of different grammar when it comes to possessives and things like that. But once you know those rules, I would be a lot better at Portuguese if it weren't for the pronunciation. If it was pronounced how it was spelled, honey, I'd be like,
but it ain't.
But it's not. It's not. And sometimes I say, what I can say, like, I have a NEEF, I can say that. Or do you have, like when I go into a store, I've looked up the thing that I'm looking for and I'll say, do you have this or that? So I bought a Soda Stream and the CO2, we needed to replace it. And so I figured out that she said, go to customer service, because in context, y'all, you're listening for those clue words. In context, I understood. Went to customer service. Customer service was not trying to speak any English. But I caught enough words to understand that here's this coupon. You're going to go in there and get one, and then you have to go back to the line. And so I just wanted to make sure. And so I said, I'm going to get a new one. And I didn't pronounce it right the first time. So I said it, I looked and I said it again, and she understood. And I said, okay, thank you. So yeah, you get it done. You get it done. Are taxes based on income or the total amount of money you have, including bank accounts? No, it's based upon income. It's based upon income. And then also the reason why you give your NEEF number everywhere you go is because those taxes that you are paying in sales tax, I don't know how much, what percentage or what, I'm actually going to meet with a tax person in a couple of weeks now. But anyway, that is subtracted from what you owe. So that's why you give your NIF number everywhere you go. Do you feel like you have a comfortable lifestyle based on the cost of living there?
I would say yes.
Is there anything that you want to do that we say,
No. No, not at all.
we like when it's time to eat out, we eat out. We just do. When it's time to get a coffee wherever we are, we just do, because a latte is €1.80. It's not €5. We use public transportation. We don't use Ubers all the time, but if it's raining, we'll call an Uber. And I've never paid more than €8 for an Uber. Usually it's between €3 and €5 for a Bolt or an Uber. So yeah, bought new clothes the other day. I bought some new jeans. He bought a vest and whatever. I wasn't tripping on the price. They were a little expensive at €40, but jeans are jeans. They're going to last forever.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything that I wanted or anything that I couldn't have.
And that's the other thing, Krishan. Once you've decided on something, like, so buying things are just not a thing anymore, right? You know that you are adopting some minimalist ideas and stuff like that. So after our self-appointment, when it's time to travel, that's when we will see. We've set aside money in our travel budget, and like we said, every dollar is supposed to have a job, right? Every dollar earned has a job. Otherwise it's going to float out your hands and you ain't going to know where it goes.
Right.
So like the YouTube money, the money that comes from the advertising on YouTube, we have assigned that. Some of that money is going into our vacation fund, and things like that. So I still, when it's time, when we're looking at vacation spots and stuff like that, I start with, is there a house sit? I still start there. Is there a house sit? Because I don't want to pay any money that I don't have to pay. So I start with a house sit, and it's got to be an easy house sit with either a backyard so the dogs can just go in the backyard and I don't have to walk them all the time, or a cat.
Yeah, we ain't going to house sit to go to work.
No, or a cat. Cats have become, I didn't like cats too much before I started house sitting. I love cats. And I'm not allergic to anymore. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I think I grew out of it. So cats are so cool. They really are cool. And so, yeah, we house sit, or we do Airbnb. We've done hotels and all of that. Now, are we going to stay at the $1,000 a night hotel?
Why?
No, I'm still going to try to find the bargains because I don't like wasting money. So, but yeah, it is definitely doable. Okay, see, I did spell it right. Paso de Arcos and Casillas. Or is it Casillas? Casillas. I think it's Casillas.
I don't think it's Casillas.
What do you think it is?
Caixas.
Maybe. Which Mexico City or state are you guys considering and why? So it's just based upon people we know. Querétaro is number one on the list, and that's because of Angela and Lamar. Check out their YouTube channel. I want to see Guadalajara. I want to do the tequila tour. I want to see CDMX. But I think Mexico City might be a little bit overwhelming. I'm a city girl, but that might be too much city for me. But to visit, oh yeah, totally. We have supplied enough questions for the next 4 videos. You're right, actually, BJ. You are definitely right. Have you been to the Time Out Lisbon Food Court yet?
Yes.
Don't believe the hype, y'all. Don't believe the hype.
Some of the food is,
the food is good.
The food's real good.
It's not about the food. It's that it's always
It's crowded. It's crowded. It's crowded.
And I don't like fighting for a table. Because, it's...
Because you don't have the little separate tables. It's not like that. It's like long, community tables.
I don't mind community tables. I don't want to fight for a chair though. So if it's more than just if you're trying to save space and then you got to put your stuff down and make sure because people will just come and try to sit and it's like,
And
no,
you,
I'm saving these seats.
And somebody has to save the seats because you got to get up, you got to get your drinks, you got to go back and forth and stuff like that. So yeah,
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Food's good though.
Yeah, I haven't tasted anything there that I don't like that wasn't worth the money, so to speak. It's a little overpriced. It really is a little overpriced, but it's always been very, very tasty. But when I go to eat, I want to just relax, right? So we found a good ramen place. We're going to check out this other ramen place. So Honda Ramen that is at the foot of Saldana or on your way there. That's really good. We found some really good places. But Time Out Market,
I think it's more for tourists.
It is for tourists because it's right there. The people who come off the cruise ship, they just come down the way a little bit and then they go in there and stuff. I think he caught COVID from Time Out Market, from the lady who was sitting next to us from France. Yeah, see, nah, I'm good. What's your area again? It's Peña de França, having lunch with my sister who I plan to rope into my move to Portugal. Okay, Jeanette. My Portugal plans, so I missed some stuff. No problem. So yeah, we live in Peña de França, which is on the east side at the top. Well, I guess it encompasses one of the 7 hills of Lisbon. It's a really cute area. So I like Saldana. And it's flat. But again, it's flat because it's at the top. Our area is flat because it's at the top. Thing is you have to go down.
And you gotta go back up.
And you gotta go. Saldana is a very good place to live, but expensive. Yeah, it is expensive. It is. Oh, great. Krishan's getting her NEEF number. Very good. Over the next year, what are some of your desired locations would you like to check out in Portugal? Okay, George, help me out. What's the place I want to go to? So we've got friends in Coimbra. We've got to go back there and visit with them. Yeah. And their condo is on point.
Yeah, we got to get up there and see them.
Yeah, we've got to see them.
Trying to give them time to settle in and stuff. And we've been already granted, what do you say, 2 weeks?
I don't know, because he was talking 2 days. He said ain't nobody staying more than 2 or 4 days.
2 days, but he gave me 2 weeks.
we helped them with their bags.
So yeah, look forward to seeing them up in Coimbra.
And then Nazaré. And I'm looking on my
Beverly and Dan up in Nazaré.
Yeah, definitely. And then Aveiro, I think it's called Aveiro. It's like the Venice of Portugal, so we want to see that. And of course, Porto and the Douro Valley, so we can go wine tasting. And then as you get further down south, besides the Algarve, on the other side, like I said, I want to see Barreiro. Mm-hmm. I think, George, forgive me. So it's right across the river, but it's further away than Casillas. And so from what I was Google walking around there, they seem to have really pretty. Get the Stubal. Yeah, really pretty beaches down there. We still haven't been to Sesimbra.
No.
So I want to see
that.
There's
a lot of places.
There is a lot of places. Yeah. But that's just a short list. And then, of course, the Algarve, because I want to see those coves and all of that, the pictures that we've all seen with the water coming through them and the whole, yeah. We've got a lot of exploring to do, and we're going to take y'all with us. So we're going to probably start. I was planning to go somewhere in April, but we've got the meetup coming, and then we've got a friend coming in May, and then we've got another meetup in June. So I think I wait until May. We've got to get some dates from him so we can start booking the Airbnbs. But so we'll probably be doing a lot of this in May. And then in August, we might leave the country when it gets crowded here. So we're looking at Vienna. Oh, you didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't.
Decided that today.
Vienna.
Would you recommend Lisbon for someone who who has lived in a city, but not a big city with a lot of hustle and bustle and aren't familiar with catching buses and trains. Anyone from the west side of the United States is probably not used to catching buses and trains. You know, seriously, the metro system here is very, very easy. In our transportation video, we give the apps that you need to get to make it even easier. So, you know, if you like when you say hustle and bustle, it's a different hustle and bustle when you're not working. So even when the trains are crowded, it's like, oh, we'll wait for the next one. You know, where do we have to be?
Not in a rush.
Right? So there's lots of people, but for the most part, it's a good energy. It's not a frenetic energy like it is, say, in Manhattan. So it's not that kind of energy. Relaxed, happy, and chill. So like the other day after my haircut, we walked over to the park, and it was pretty early. It was like 4:00 in the afternoon on a Thursday, I think. And people were just chilling in the park.
Just chilling.
Like it looked spontaneous. And so there was a lot of people just sitting on the grass. They had gotten some food from somewhere here and there, and they were just all sitting on the grass eating. Kids playing at the playground. And then, of course, there's the kiosk with wine and beer. So we sat, Rick had a glass of wine. I had my bubble water. We had a couple of snacks, and we just chilled. So there were a lot of people, but it wasn't frenetic. So it's not like that, like in Madrid at nighttime is like this. It's like this. And it can get like that in the tourist areas of Lisbon at night on the weekends. But otherwise, you know, I think so. I mean, we're from Denver, and then LA is a big city, but it's so spread out that it's not like Manhattan, right? It's not like, and you know, I caught the bus when I was young, but certainly you get a car as soon as you can in LA. So I think so. I think you should come. I think you should visit. And then you always can, you know, move a little bit further north or a little bit further south or across the river and still be, you know, close to where things are happening. And you might find like there's lots of Black folks who have moved to the Silver Coast, to Porto, to Coimbra and stuff like that. So we're not just in Lisbon, you know, for that soft landing until you can get your Portuguese feet on, you know, and then you can start getting some friends that are outside of our community. But yeah, I would come and visit and see what's what. I think you'll be okay. Is it
border? It's
like,
BORDR.
And it's in the description below, y'all. It definitely is in the description below under all things Portugal. There is a link. So, question: one of your lives you mentioned you moved before you were approved for your visa. Shh. Did you receive your visa back? Yes. So we came here on a tourist visa because we were paying rent.
She was impatient, and she said, "I ain't gonna be paying rent somewhere I ain't living." Right. And I was like, "But we gotta wait till we get our visa."
So I talked to our immigration person, and she said, "No, you can come on your tourist visa." We shipped our passports back to a friend because the consulates will only ship the passport
to an American address.
To an American address. Yeah. So we have a very good friend that we shipped our passports to. He turned around and shipped them to the consulate. They slapped the visa in there, shipped them back to him, and then he shipped them back to us. It was a little bit nerve-wracking, but it was better than waiting. And I'm glad we did it that way because they didn't give us an answer they gave us an answer 15 to 18 days after we said our flight was. So we didn't get approval until October 26th or something like that?
Something like that.
And our appointment was August 5th. I was impatient, y'all. Okay. We're getting close to 2 hours, so we're going to try to go faster. Hey Andrea, what are the dates of your meetups after Morocco? It's April 26th and then something informal on April 25th. So I think Morocco is over on Sunday. I left Monday as a travel day, and then so informal thing on that Tuesday, the 25th, and then the real deal on the 26th, Wednesday. And you guys should get on our email list. So, because we're going to give all of the information. So if you're not, okay, I'll put a link in the description below. I should have brought that. But if you get our Ready to Retire toolkit or any of that stuff, the information about the meetups and how you can get on the I want more information list for the meetups are in just about every single email that we send out. So look there. If you're not on our email list, why not? Why not? I'll put a link just to get on our email list in the description below after. Most people get on there from getting a toolkit. So I didn't even think to just, people just might want to be on there. Do you use Google Translate? So we use a couple of things. So Google Translate I like because Rick figured out that they've got this camera feature and you can hold stuff up and it will translate like stuff on the box and stuff like that, right? So that's cool. But we use Google Translate and then we use Translator. I think it's a Microsoft thing, but I have an iPhone. We use Translate and then we also use DeepL, DEEPL, because DeepL has European Portuguese and Brazilian Portuguese, and they actually, make a difference between them. Translator, I think, also has both sets of Portuguese. So in the translator icon, wait, done. Don't do that. Go away.
The reverse of.
So that green one is translator. I think it's a Microsoft product. And then we use reverso.net, but I don't know if they have do they have an app here? I don't have the app here.
No,
I use it for
my,
it's like a website. So I use that for conjugating and all of that stuff.
And if you are looking at programs or apps to learn Portuguese, remember it's not Brazilian Portuguese here. It's European Portuguese.
Yeah. Lingua, Lingua website also has European Portuguese, and they have flashcards and stuff like that. And I think it's free.
I think that's Lingu.
Lingu?
Yeah, Lingua is
something else.
Lingua has.
Okay, he's going to look it up. So, and we'll get you that. Yeah. So our tutor's having a baby, so she's not going to be with us this week or probably next week either. So we're going to use that. Do you plan to have a meetup in June? Yeah, our June meetup is June 20th, right before the Our Rich Journey meetup. They don't pronounce the M, y'all. They don't pronounce the M. They don't pronounce the M. They don't pronounce a lot of stuff. Like French, there's a lot of stuff that.
So this Linguno?
Linguno, that's it. Linguno.
And it's not an app.
It's not an app, it's a website.
But it's a website that you can use on your phone and stuff like that, but it takes you to the website.
Yeah, and they have flashcards and all kind of stuff. So we'll let you know how that is. Looking for a place to stay in April and May, is Airbnb a good place for a place that is not a hotel? Yeah, when we came here, we searched Airbnb. Sometimes I search VRBO or Booking.com as well. But yeah, definitely. And then QDQ, because you look like a relatively new name, we did do an Airbnb video, so you can check that out. Your face is always so pretty. Oh, thank you. Have you had to replenish the makeup arsenal in Portugal yet? Yes and no, but they have MAC here. And they have MAC stores. So that's kind of what I use. There's also a Black lady who out of Britain who has a makeup line. It's a little expensive, but that's here as well. But I already have my colors in Max, so you know. When I was in Lisbon, I couldn't find a mailbox.
We just take it to the post office.
How do you send mail? Mail? What's that? Please tell me, because when I handed my postcards to someone at a post office, they never got them. Really? Oh, I'm sorry. So we did mail something, regular mail, to our attorney in Los Angeles, and she received it. So yeah. Their system has been privatized. It's CTT, C as in cat, T as in Tom, CTT. And like a mailbox, like the blue mailboxes that we have on the side of the road, I haven't seen those.
No, they're not. They're red, but
Yeah.
I don't know if they use them. I've never seen anybody use them.
So you've seen them?
I've seen them.
Oh, okay.
They're not the big mailboxes. They might be real small.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and they don't look like they're in working
use.
order.
George, are they using those things? So the CTT, they're like storefronts, have mail slots on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
But I went in because I had to buy some stamps and mailed something, and she did get it. I'm sorry that your folks didn't get the postcards. Look, you guys.
Or they just might have not got them yet.
Yeah, it did take a few weeks.
It might take a while.
But protect the American Postal Service, y'all. We have the best postal service in the world. Seriously. The postal service here, like the postman or postwoman, the postperson here has to, he rings all of the bells, all of the buzzers. If by chance he comes and no one in the apartment building happens to be home when he comes,
you ain't getting no mail.
You're not getting any mail that day. So the idea of a universal key or whatever our postmen use in the United States, that's not a thing here. That is just not a thing. So we did get our insurance cards, but it took a long time. Where do I go to sign up for the April meeting? So yeah, we're not taking the payments yet because we don't have the final price yet, but to sign up to make sure you get all of the information QDQ. For right now, why don't you email me at hello@ourblackutopia.com, hello@ourblackutopia.com, put Meetup, put me on the list in the subject line, and I will put you on the list. And anybody else who's listening, that's what you can do. Yeah, like Mexico, Isan One Ben, look, the postal service is just not as good in other countries as it is in the United States. Tried to send you guys a little coffee. Did it work? Life with Sister Spice. Not sure. I'm not sure. I will look again because I try to respond to all of the coffees and everyone, general thank you guys so much. The super chat money, we have given away we've got one more. What am I trying to say? Scholarship. So all the super thanks money, super chat money that you guys have given us have been used for scholarships. We have already given one away. She has already logged in. She is starting on Beyond the Bling Money Mindset Makeover for financial independence. So that's great. We have one more left. So if you need a scholarship, if you seriously cannot afford it, send us an email, hello@ourblackutopia.com. So one of the main reasons, Grace, is that we wanted to be close to other places that we wanted to visit. So that was one of the main reasons to choose Europe over the Americas. There's a lot of things over on this side of the world that we want to see. So when there's no longer, we might be in Mexico. We'll see, but that's not going to be before 5 years because we are getting citizenship. Yeah. Definitely. Rick and Halisi, do you consider Portugal harder to learn than Spanish? There's no comparison, BP. There is no comparison. Grammar-wise, a little bit, especially European Portuguese, because some of it is still a little antiquated the way they do things.
I think I can, and I don't know Spanish, but I think I can learn Spanish faster than I can learn Portuguese.
Yeah, because you pronounce every single letter in Spanish. Every letter has a pronunciation, and it's usually the same, or there's a couple of rules where the sound changes, but otherwise it's always the same. So you don't have to worry about that part, and you can just concentrate on learning the language, because once you understand the pronunciation, it's always the same. Portuguese, on the other hand, you got to learn both, and it's like French when it comes to the pronunciation. They swallow a lot of stuff. They only pronounce. You only really hear the syllable that has the accent on it. Everything else is swallowed, and so like Stubal, it's spelled Setubal, and that's how I was saying it. And then I got corrected, and it's Setu with the accent Abubal. Setubal. Setubal. No, they swallow it. Stubal. Stubal. So too bad. Like if I showed you how that was spelled, you'd be like, yeah. Hey, Hermes Addict, good to see you in the chat. Hey, Tanya, girl, 2 times in a row. What you talking about? Do you plan to buy property in Portugal? That is the plan.
Yes.
We are saving to buy a building. How's that for manifestation? How much money do we have saved towards the building? Very little. How much is the building going to cost? I have no idea. But I am standing for it. We are saving for it. And when we are ready, the universe will say, here you go. And we've got some friends who are saving as well. We're not going to do it alone. We're going to get some friends, and we're all going to buy a building, and everybody's going to take an apartment. So I think that's the best way to do it. What about volunteering in a capacity where you routinely use certain phrases in order to learn the language?
That's a good idea. That's something that if you have time to do.
I get PTSD when I hear the word volunteering. It is an excellent idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd rather take like yoga lessons or exercise class and hear stuff. I get PTSD when I hear volunteering, because I gave so much of my time, my precious, precious time away in the United States trying to help the community. And then when I started asking for money, they looked at me like I was crazy. So that's my own issue. But your suggestion is excellent. It's an excellent idea. But we ain't there yet. We are not there yet. Like, I can't even pronounce the stuff. How do you stay connected to all your family and friends? So we use 2 things: WhatsApp, FaceTime, 3 things, and Google Meet on the phone. And that's how we stay connected. I would imagine you miss seeing them in person, hanging out with them. Not yet. Hey, Tanya, love you, but she was living in a different state.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing too, because we were in Denver, and wasn't a whole lot of family and stuff coming to Denver.
And all our kids moved away. Except for one. So we were staying there for them and the grandkids, and then they all left us. So we had one kid who was still there, but no family. Rick has regular calls with his best friend who's still in Denver. One of my good friends, I still keep trying to get her. I think I've talked to her 3 times since we've been here. And she is so busy, and a new grandma and all of that. So it's hard to keep in touch, but I'm purposeful in reaching out to her. I talk to my parents on a regular. I talk to my mom a couple of times a week. And then I talk to my dad at least once a week. So, but shoot. Yeah, I'm really missing the Grind 24-hour marathon to answer all these questions, right? Okay, yeah, we got to go. Action, VJ.
You passed some.
Did I pass? I don't think I did. You stay connected.
Okay.
Holly and Rick, how about pedestrians? Respect, truth, and out. Yeah, no, the pedestrians do get the right of way here. But don't just step out there. I see Portuguese people just step out.
Yeah, Portuguese people just walk out there, and it's like, I ain't there yet.
No, neither am I. But if they walk out and it looks like they're slowing down, then I'll follow. But I ain't gonna be the first one on that curb.
What I realize here is these people that drive these cars, they got the best brakes in the world.
Because they go and they stop.
Flying and they.
Yes.
Unless sometimes you get one that ain't really, really paying attention, and you stepping out. Well, no, I ain't gonna be no my bad. No.
Yeah. So QM, you have to decide, make choices, right? And I kept all of the books that were signed, and I kept the books that were about social justice and some of our history and stuff like that. So I get it as someone who didn't throw away any books. Seriously. But also no. So, I mean, when it comes to creature comforts, the apartments tend to be smaller. If you move out of the city center, then they will get bigger, or you can get a single family home and things like that with more room. But here, there's no way I could fit all of our books and all of our DVDs and feel comfortable. It would feel cluttered. And I'm cool with that. I really am. It's less to clean and less to dust. Please comment more on the status of the Golden Visa. If you talked about earlier, I can watch you. Yeah, we did mention it originally, Shar. Right now, it is kaput, but they still have to submit something to the president.
They have to submit something to the president for him to sign off for, or ask them to redo stuff. And they have to send it to a council or something.
Right. And then they have to send it back to get voted on once they have the final language. And then even after that, it probably is not going to take effect until the next calendar year. But
I don't think they're accepting anymore.
Yeah, I guess just if it's already in the queue. I don't know about that. I don't know. But truly, I would never, ever suggest that someone get here on a Golden Visa. If you have, I was going to say Michael Jackson money, because that's showing my age. But, if you've got millions and millions and millions and millions and millions, and I mean millions and millions, not like one or two or three, then maybe, because you can take a loss. But if you don't, if like spending $500,000 is going to feel kind of ouchy, like even if the Golden Visa wasn't going away, I would never suggest that you do that. Number one, there are vultures here looking to sell you a $200,000 apartment for $500,000, for 500,000 euro. And you wouldn't know the difference because you don't know the market. And so the idea of buying something in a place where you don't know the market is always a dangerous proposition. And there is no MLS, and there is no such thing as a buyer's agent. Okay. So who's going to be on your side? So now you've got to hire an attorney, and it's just a whole thing. It just is so different here. If you were trying to get here by investing in business, that's another story. There's still another way that you can get a visa by opening a business. It doesn't have to just be the Golden Visa. How did you guys go from negative 22,000 to over $1 million in net worth? Over 3 years, struggling to wrap my head around the concept, even if you made $300,000 a year. So net worth is different than cash, Kevin. And so a couple of things. The biggest thing we did was we got out of all consumer debt. All consumer debt went away, and we concentrated on that. So then now we're at net zero, right? Most people are at a negative because either they bought a house for more than it's worth, or they have a lot of debt. So once you eliminate the debt, that puts you at net zero. And we were saving 50 to 70% of our earnings, of our income. And so that money went into, either it got invested or it went to CDs and in high yield savings. And then we bought another piece of property. So between the property, what is in our investment accounts, and cash, that's how we did it. So debt is the thing. Debt is the thing. But when you're starting late, you have to be aggressive. You have to be aggressive with reducing spending. You have to be aggressive with saving as much as you can. If you want to get to financial independence, saving that little bitty 10% that they talk about is not going to do it unless you started at 16 years old. And then maybe. But you at least want to be saving 20% if you're young and you're listening now. If you're over 40, you need to save 30, 40, 50, 60% of your income. That's where you need to be. And, right now, the stock market is still pretty much on sale. So if you've got 10 years until retirement, buy now. 10 years from now is going to be where you want to see it. If you don't have 10 years, to me, the fastest way is rental income. Because if you think about putting down $30,000 on a fourplex or investing $30,000 in the stock market, $30,000 invested in the stock market today is not going to provide you with any income tomorrow. What? A couple of dollars in dividends if you buy dividend stock? But $30,000 put down on a fourplex that is totally rented out can provide income tomorrow. And so the thing about financial independence is to have other income paying for your monthly expenses. And it's as simple as that. So if you have to live on $5,000 a month, you need more rental income. But if you can live off of, between $2,500 and $2,700 a month, you need a lot less rental income or income period. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you do that. It really is that simple. And the idea of living below your means and not using credit cards to live a lifestyle was foreign to me and to you. Mm-hmm. But then we figured it out and we stopped using credit cards to live a lifestyle that we could not afford. I just checked into getting euros and the fee was a flat fee of $40 for whatever amount. That's more than I paid. I don't know if it's worth it, BP. I don't know. Because wherever you are staying in the city, you're going to be a half a block from an ATM. You get to the city. If you need to buy, if you're going to take the train, the train booths take cards, right? If you're going to do an Uber, is Uber, right? So then you get to your Airbnb or you get to your hotel, out the door within a 10-minute walk is going to be a bank. And then you can get it, like if you've got Charles Schwab or you've got Fidelity, you can get your money for free. But convenience, so you make that decision. I'm cheap. Ain't I cheap? I'm like, oh, no, I ain't paying that. Is Portugal's weather comparable to San Francisco Bay Area? I think it's more comparable to San Diego. I think Porto is closer to the Bay Area.
Yeah.
How would one plan a scouting trip? Did you use a tour company? You're new, Grethlin.
Mm-mm.
I don't believe in tour companies. I'm too cheap for that. I ain't paying nobody else to do what I can do. So we did a video called How to Plan a Scouting Trip. You can watch that. It's a Thursday short, so it's not going to be 2.5 hours like this one is. We got to get off.
Yeah, I was going to say we're at 20.
Yeah, so it's under 30 minutes, and there's a scouting trip checklist as well. But no, I've never used a tour company. When we went to South Africa, I didn't use a tour company. When we came here for a month back in 2018, I planned it all out by myself. And I went online, best neighborhoods to stay in Madrid, and found a website. I want to say, I can't remember the name of it. It's not the Earth Awaits, but I can't remember the name of it, but it gives information on, well, if you're into this, stay here. If you're into that, stay here. And we ended up staying in perfect locations in our Airbnbs, every single one of them, right?
Everywhere we went.
Every single one of them was perfect. When we were in Rome, we were in walking distance of the Colosseum. When we were in Florence, we were right across from the Duomo. I mean, it was just incredible. So I did all of it ourselves. And because we had like 9 months to plan that, every month I booked an Airbnb and paid for it. And every month I paid for an airline ticket. So by the time the trip came around in August, everything was already paid for. And then we did Airbnb experiences once we got there. I didn't do that in advance. As soon as we got there, I already kind of knew what we wanted to do, and I bought them once we got there. So, yeah. The internet makes it so easy that, this is an issue here, Isan, as far as long-term care and senior housing. Senior housing specifically, if you don't need nursing, I don't know. I do know that they have government-sponsored housing, but I don't know if they have any specifically for seniors. So we would have to ask. George, if you're still on, if you could help us out with that. I apologize if you went over this. Why Portugal over Spain? I thought Rick loved Valencia. No, he loves Barcelona. What country was your second choice? So yeah, we did talk about this, Lisa, already. So just very quickly, taxes, the tax scheme, the amount of time it takes to get citizenship, and more Black folks here, in a nutshell, and in that order. Hi, everyone. I desperately need to get on the Fire Over 50 Facebook and Exodus. However, I keep getting rejected by Facebook. So, okay. So send me an email, hello@ourblackutopia.com. And then what we'll do is you'll friend me personally, and then I will invite you to the Fire Over 50 group, and then you'll be able to get in. Okay. So you've gotten foreign currency from Wells Fargo. Yeah. 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 Like I said, most ATM machines, if you put in an American card, it's going to give you the option to see it in English. And it did that in Croatia. It did that it didn't do, I don't remember it doing that in Spain, however, but it did it in Italy. It did it in Croatia. It did it in Montenegro. We didn't get money in Greece. But yeah. Okay. I hope I'm catching up, because we gonna let y'all go. You're very, very welcome, Rosalind. We don't, like, if you're coming and we're not busy, we will meet with you.
Yeah.
We'll meet with you. And it's funny because we were just talking about this today earlier. I forget that we don't know you. So we show up to have coffee with you or whatever. And some people say, oh my God, I can't believe we're meeting you. And it's like, y'all, it's like, oh, you're a friend of a friend. We're just meeting a friend of a friend. We're not meeting someone who's a subscriber who watches us. And I guess it kind of feels like you know us. You guys know a lot of our business. You really do.
You do.
You're from Denver. Hey, Kevin, do we know you? Like, there's only so many Black folks in Denver. So I'm sure we cross paths at something, like, right? All that stuff we used to go around. Like,
how do you know if he's Black?
I'd assume he's Black. I'm making some assumptions here.
Okay.
But at the Boulay or anything like that, I don't know if you're a fraternity brother. But yeah, we ain't shoveling no snow.
Nope.
So it never, in the evening it gets chilly, but I haven't seen a day under the 50s.
No, not at all.
And usually it's about 52 to 55. Now it's going back up to the 60s. And then if the sun comes out, then in the sun, usually what happens in the sun, it's warm. But then in the shade with the little breeze, I get a little cold.
But you can't really go off of her because she gets cold.
Yes, and yes. The hills are like San Francisco. Yes. They are steep. They are so steep, you need handrails, some of them. So If that's not your thing, Lisbon might not be for you. Were you able to get subsidies for ACA? Yes, we were. We were able to get subsidies for ACA. We still use our Denver address. And I got it through Colorado's ACA, and it was based upon our income. And so, yeah, as citizens of the United States and still conceivably paying taxes, I want my stuff. So we can't leave because our residency visa expires sometime this month, and we don't have our green card yet. So once we go to the immigration office and get our green card, then we can come and go. But in that meantime, in between time, if we leave, we might not be able to get back in.
Be able to get in.
So that's why. Now, like I said, everybody else had their appointment, even though they got approved after us. I'm feeling some kind of way. How long are you required to stay in Portugal during your first year on the D7? So you have to stay six months and 1 day for all the years until you get citizenship. Supposedly, it gets better after you get it renewed for the last 2 years or whatever. Or last 3 years. But I didn't read that anywhere. So I've heard that from people, but I haven't read it anywhere. So I would just say, you got to be here 6 months and a day. What options are available to Americans to obtain citizenship if the Golden Visa is no longer an option? Oh, there's lots of other visa opportunities. So we're here on the D7 visa.
We got D8.
I don't know what the D8 or D2 visa.
D8 is the digital, isn't it?
Is that what they're calling it? Mm-hmm. Oh, so the digital nomad visa. Yeah, there's regular people visas with regular people money visas. So you don't have to, the golden visa to me is for folks who want to waste money or who have it like that. If you have normal money, golden, you don't want to do gold visa.
I mean, the only thing is pretty much the same as the D7, but you don't have to be in country as long.
Right. That's the only thing.
It's like 2 weeks or something like that.
Something like that. But you still have to wait 5 years to get citizenship.
You got to wait. You don't get citizenship immediately. The only way you can get that, and she didn't really get it immediately, is she found out that she had relatives.
She had grandparents.
She had great-grandparents that lived here, something like that.
Yeah.
A friend of mine's wife.
I don't think great-grandparents count. I think it has to be grandparents.
It had to be somebody way back there. It wasn't her grandparents.
Oh, really? Okay.
It might have been, but I don't think it was. I have to look at.
We are visiting Lisbon end of July. If we wanted to meet you and ask a couple of questions, is that something you do? We do, but we're not going to be here. We're going back to the States in July. We will be back at the very end
of July
for our friend's birthday. But so if you're here in August, so just let us know what the dates are and we'll let you know because we haven't booked the States yet. Okay, we're going to go. We got to go quick. I'm a bit confused on the self-appointment timeline. If it takes more than the 4 months to get approved, do you have to? No, you don't have to leave the country. Then come back for the appointment. No, we cannot leave the country. And they're just backed up. And they realize that. And so, nobody's going to come knocking at our doors or anything like that. Hey, Patty.
They know that we're not here illegally.
So, we're fine because we've already been approved. How many months did it take you to empty your life to move? I don't know because we still emptying it.
We still emptying it.
But I started decluttering a few years ago, but did not do as much as I thought I had done. So some friends of ours who we interviewed last week, they did it in like 3 months. Y'all, you can do it if you just set that timeline and say, this is going to be done by this time. This is going to be done by that time. We still have stuff in, besides our artwork, which is still on the wall because we have family living in our house. We have some stuff in our shed in the backyard.
So we have a storage unit that we don't have to pay for.
Yes. Move to Portugal. How should people handle getting a bank account and NIF number? Okay. So that information is below. Go to Border.io under all things Portugal in the description below, and you Border IO will get you a NIF number and a bank account. Can someone live in Portugal with $2,300 a month?
Yeah.
Yes. So it last Thursday, or the Thursday that just passed, 3 days ago, we did our cost of living Flip Queen. So go check that out and you will see exactly how much it takes for the two of us to live our fabulous life. We ain't living large, y'all, but we're living like we like to live, and we're doing what we want to do. Thankfully, things are just less expensive. How is your family handling you guys living in Lisbon?
They're good.
Nobody has tripped
No.
except for Gloria Benson. My mom is like, so you just put us down, huh? So you ain't never coming back? Well, I mean, I know you're going to come back to visit, but you ain't never coming back to live? First of all, never say never. I don't know. But if I had to make that decision right now today, nah, why would I? How many mass shootings have you guys had just in the past week since we talked to you last? Do you have any idea what your self is last when others are not? No, I think it's California and the fact that they thought it would be a good idea to keep us in Lisbon, because the people that we know who got their appointments before us didn't come out of the San Francisco office and are not having their appointments in Lisbon. But I told our immigration person, if you can move it to Coimbra or to the Silver Coast or anything else, we're willing to go, even a Setúbal. Moving to Portugal, how should people handle getting a bank account? NIF answered that. It's in the description below. Tanya, I passed your question. You should have asked it again, girl. I can't do a search.
Yes, I think it's way back.
Can you ask it again, baby, please? How long are you required to stay in Portugal during your first year? Yeah, so 6 months and a day. Do you need a representative to assist you in obtaining a NIF before arriving to Portugal while still in the U.S.? Yes, though there is a DIY. So as we said before, go to Facebook group, Americans and Friends in Portugal. They have a DIY thing to teach you how to do it. Some people have done it. When you get help, they're going to ask for a power of attorney. So that's why it costs money. Can you explain how you moved there before you received your visa? Did they send your passport to Portugal? No, they ain't sending no passport to Portugal. So we explained that earlier, sent it to a friend and had the friend send
Only
it to
an
us.
American address they'll send it to.
Yeah. What's the name of the neighborhood where many Black Portuguese live? They live all over.
We got a lot of Blacks in this neighborhood.
There's a lot of Black folks in this neighborhood, Pineda França. And off of the blue line on the way to
Sintra.
Those last few stops on the blue line, there's a lot of Black folks there. There's a lot of Black folks in Sintra. On the other side, just past Almada, there's a lot of Black folks. So yeah, but we're kind of all over. What is the eSIM card you spoke about in a different video? Yeah, so phones today usually come with 2 SIM cards, either 2 physical SIMs cards and 2 slots, actual slots, or one is an electronic SIM and one is a physical SIM. I had to call Google Fi, because that's our company, and get them to walk me through installing my phone number on the electronic SIM. So it's just a memory space and probably does some stuff in the phone. I don't know, but it's not a physical SIM. So you guys asking me these technical questions. I don't know. Moving to Portugal, how should people handle getting? Okay, I answered that. Will you do a meetup in June? Yep, June 20th. Tanya, you're going to ask me your question again. I'm looking for it. I will see, one thing I have to say, whatever Stephanie uses, she can do a search. Do you take any local classes, dance, art, cooking, or go to the local public pool to swim? So we're going to sign up for our local pool / recreation center, as a matter of fact. So I just have to, I've gone on the website, but I can't find the fees. So the next time we pass by there and they're open, we're going to go in and see about the fees, because it's a really nice pool.
Mm-hmm.
I would say BP unfurnished apartments are less expensive. However, more of a pain in the butt. Have you gone to any of the hot springs and spas in the areas near Portugal? No.
No.
What areas are they in? I know there's some in the Azores Islands, but did you know that there were hot springs here? Yeah, I'm not sure where they are. Do you have to take a test for citizenship? Yes, you do have to take a language test unless you take the government sponsored class, which is 6 months long, 3 days a week, y'all. But if you take that class and pass the class, you don't have to take the test. Can you stay in Portugal for your self-appointment if it takes longer than 4 months? Yes, we answered that. Da-da-da. This is what I want to stay under. No problem, Marguerite. You can do it.
You can do that.
You can do it. Today you can do it. Now, a year or two from now, I can't tell you. But, gosh, why is it doing that? I don't know if we're breaking up. It's really weird. Have you visited the Queluz National Palace? Queluz? It's the Versailles of Portugal. No, we haven't. But it's now going to be on our list, June. Yes, thanks for watching us from Facebook.
When y'all want to go.
Yeah, exactly. What is the secret to getting Airbnbs that do not take away from the struggle the Portuguese are living with housing cost increases? Yeah. And we talked about this a little bit in the Airbnb video that we did. But basically, when I look for the place, I look to see if the host is hosting a lot of other spaces. If they are, they're probably corporate. If they're not, like the one that we were staying in was family owned. Have you guys, and they'd owned it for a long time too. So that was good. We're almost at the end. So if you want information about the meetup, email us, hello@blackutopia.com, hello@ourblackutopia.com. I'll put you on the list and we'll give you all of the information for the meetup. Do you have a video about the process from the scouting trip? What areas you checked out to getting to Portugal? Not one video, but we do have a scouting trip video. If you watched our first impressions video, Portugal, our first impressions, we talk a lot about what it took for us to get there and what we thought that was the first week we were here. Yeah, Tanya, I'm seeing your post, but I can't see the question. And so, but we don't have one video about the whole process, Grethlin. Maybe we can do that though. Portuguese is way harder. Yes, it is, Rui. Hey there. Good to see you in the chat. Okay, I'm scrolling. Hi, me and my family are booked for Lisbon, Portugal for the entire month of April. I noticed you guys are doing a meetup. Can we come? Of course you can. How do we sign up? Send us an email, hello@ourblackutopia.com, and we will put you on the list. Is there a special loan for a fourplex versus a single or duplex? No. So any 4 units or under are still considered just a family home, and so it's not a commercial loan. It's a regular loan. And for, multifamily homes are cheaper per square foot than a single family home. So it's really a good deal, and you can let other people pay your mortgage.
Yes.
I wish we would have done that. Do you recommend using a credit card or debit card to get cash from the ATM in Lisbon? I don't use a credit card because they charge all kind of fees. When it flooded, was it really bad? I don't know. We didn't,
We didn't get flooding here. Not here where we are because we're up on the hill.
As people were emailing us and texting us and saying, are you guys okay? We didn't even realize that it had flooded. Okay, I am specifically looking for LaTanya. There it is. Okay, I see you. You're going to be right after this one, Tan. My husband and I are a family of 6. We can easily spend $1,200 on groceries.
Mm.
We were spending that just for the two of us in the States. Well, three of us. That's just for the basics. Is it realistic that we spend less than half in Portugal? For a family of 6, I don't know. I don't know. Perhaps. If you don't buy processed foods and only fresh foods. So I got a fresh chicken from the butcher the other day. That was $3, €3.50. A whole more than a pound of freshly cut bacon was like €2 and some cents. Already made burgers were about €3. But now the cooked chicken, that's like $6.99, right? With the roasted chicken that they do in the grocery stores. The food is less expensive,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're going to come for a scouting trip, I say stay in an Airbnb and do the grocery shopping so that you can see. Because we spent about, well, but see, we're still buying cleaning supplies and stuff like that you only buy every so often, right? And kitchen towels and things like that. But we spent about 300 last month on groceries.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing to do is to come over for a scouting trip, and like she said, stay in the Airbnb and
Make
go
your food.
grocery shopping.
Yeah, the
Do
food's so
cooking.
much better. It's so much better.
Yeah.
Even the chips, you can read all the ingredients. How has y'all relationship changed since you left the state as a couple and individually? Y'all look so happy and healthy. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya.
How has our relationship changed?
I think it's changed for the best. I mean, we got each other.
Yeah. So we really don't argue as much as we did because we're not as stressed out as we were.
We didn't argue a lot.
Yeah, we did. Not a lot. Not yelling, screaming. We were never that couple.
No.
We were never that couple, but just frustrated because we're frustrated with life and frustrated at our job and short, just being short with each other and stuff like that.
We go on walks together, or if I don't feel like going on a walk with her, because she does walk a little faster, and I ain't trying to stay up with her, we do that. We do what we got to do, and we enjoy ourselves. When we get time, we go out and explore and stuff like that together. So it's all good.
It is all good. I think that we are closer. I think we are, and that is a good note to end on. When you, especially if you're moving abroad single, do it. Don't let the fact that we're a couple say, oh, only couples can do that. Half the friends we have moved over here as single folks. Okay. Find your community, find your tribe, find them first on Facebook, and you can do this thing. But if you are a couple, because we are now retired and we weren't retired in the United States, I think that took a lot of stress. Money issues are stress issues, right? And that causes pain in a relationship. So I think the fact that we're on the same page on what our spending is supposed to look like, and we don't have the stress of, did I check that email? What's the boss going to say? Am I getting evaluated today? And all of that. It's like, what do you feel like doing today?
Yeah. Or if you don't feel like doing nothing, you just
don't do anything.
You feel like I feel? Like not doing nothing today?
We wake up when we wake up. We don't wake up to an alarm. We go to bed when we feel like it. So this morning I looked at the clock and it was like 8 o'clock. I'm like, I'm just going to doze just a little bit longer. Next thing I know, it was 9:30. I didn't wake up until 9:30, y'all. And that's how our life looks. And I love it. I love it. I feel so blessed.
Answer Auntie Trey's question. What's Auntie Trey's question?
Yeah. I see Auntie Trey's question. I try not to pass up anything. And this is going to be the last question, y'all. So can you ask it again, Auntie Trey or Action VJ? Because we got to go. We got to go.
I think it would have to be further up.
It would have to be. Roasted chicken is $15 at Whole Foods. Are you kidding me right now? Oh, heck no. And I'm going to tell you, so in the States, I only like Kroger's roasted chicken. Um, the rest of the, I don't like them. But here, every grocery store chain makes excellent roasted chicken. So, BP, what was Auntie Trey's question? I'm going to give you guys a couple more seconds and tell you if you want to take Beyond the Bling Money Mindset Makeover for Financial Independence. This is a self-paced course. It dropped yesterday, the 4th. Obviously, it's too late for early enrollment, but we do have a private community that comes along with the course. And Rick and I are in the community a minimum of 2 times a week to answer any questions that you have about the materials. There is 7 workbooks. It's like over 90 pages of worksheets to work through every single thing from, uh, you know, figuring out your spending analysis and your savings rate, what your savings rate currently is, what your savings rate is supposed to be, how you calculate, your FI number, your financial independence number, how you get there. We walk you through investing. We walk you through real estate investing. We walk you through asking for a raise and setting up a side hustle, the whole 9 yards. So when you're totally finished, you have a complete plan to get you to financial independence. This thing can be done. I don't care, like, unless you're making minimum wage in the United States, if you're making any kind of normal salary or above, you can do this thing, even if it's only $50,000 a year or $40,000, depending upon where you live. You can do this thing. We know public school teachers that have done this thing. And we are not paying. Do you
Hey,
see
tall
it?
boy.
Hey,
I'm a
tall
tall boy.
boy. You know that we do not pay our teachers well. So if a public school teacher can do
Worth
it.
having a credit card. Go down. You just passed it.
Okay, where?
Right there. Right there.
Okay, there's no Q in front of it. Well, okay. No,
No, it's not mandatory to have a credit card.
no. A friend of ours pays everything with her phone. So there's a program called MBWay, and most places take it, and it just debits it right out of her account. So we use credit cards because we want the points for traveling, but we put everything on a credit card and pay the whole thing off every single month. But yeah, no, credit cards are not mandatory. So I think that was the last question. I'm out of debt, don't want a credit card when I move abroad.
Yeah, you don't have to have one.
You know what? If you are not if you are afraid of paying it off every month, here's the thing. Because if you want to collect the points, what you can do, Auntie Trey, is pay it off every week. That way, there's no question about how much you're spending. If you want to get yourself, because I know it's a psychological thing, pay it off every week. Pay it off every single time you use it. Use it, come home, transfer the money. Use it, come home, transfer the money. You get the points and you don't have any debt. So for anybody out there who is afraid to get back into the credit card thing and they don't think they have the discipline, pay it off right away and then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a plus to having a credit card, especially for emergency situations or something. If you just got to do something, not just buy stuff. I
No,
mean, for
a true
a
emergency.
true emergency or something like that, it's good to have that access. But I mean, I probably wouldn't carry the credit cards I have if I didn't, if we weren't going to the store. And I really just carry one true one. I kind of retired to American Express.
I haven't because we still need the points. And different credit cards work with different airlines as far as the points go. So,
Well, I mean, I haven't had any need to use American Express.
so I use American Express, I use Chase, and all those points will be going to get us back to the States to see family.
Well, see, she uses it.
All right, y'all. We love you. It has been almost 3 hours.
Wow.
nobody else is going to watch this stuff. Nobody else is going to watch it. But we hope that we answered all of your questions. We want you to have your own Black utopia. We want you to make your own utopia, definitely. And so any way that we can help, we're here. Definitely. And we will see you next week.
Love you guys.
Bye.